Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs Game Night live from Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and former NHLer Anthony Stewart with you. Tonight's coach's comment is powered by your Ontario Honda dealers. Score a $1,500 Honda bonus on the CR-V LX. Conditions apply. Visit HondaOntario.com. So this is Coach Craig Berube getting Jake McCabe back in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, he's a big part of our team back there with, him and Tanny, shutdown pair and penalty killing and just, physical play and just, defending and things like that. So he's a big part of our team, so it'd be great to have him back.
Why do you think that pair is so effective and they're able to get to that?
Well, I think they think alike and they're on the same page. They're similar players and how they play the game and how they think the game. I think that's a big part of it. Yeah.
You guys get McCabe back on the other side. They got Trouba, Gudis. Just curious your thoughts on the state of the big, clean hit, where it is in the game now compared to maybe when you played or even a few years ago?
Well, anytime you get a big hit, I mean, if it's a headshot, it's suspension probably, right? So when I played, I mean, they didn't call those. They were good hits. You look back at Scott Stevens' hits and things like that. And I mean, in today's game, as a player and when you're going to be physical and hit somebody, you got to really watch not hitting the head, even though the player should be accountable for having his head up. Doesn't happen all the time. And if you do hit him and it's a headshot, you're going to get in trouble.
Stephen Lawrence has yet to take a penalty this year. What allows him to play a physical, aggressive, forechecking game and avoid the balls?
Yeah, he's been really clean, which is good. He's been physical. He's one of the hit leaders on our team, and I think he doesn't get his stick in bad areas, and he skates. I think when you take penalties, you're reaching from behind, or you're not skating, moving your feet, and your sticks are in bad spots, whether, you high stick a guy, or you trip him, or hook him, or whatever. So he's been clean that way with not taking any of those penalties, which is good.
There weren't a lot of hits in the last game. How much was that kind of reinforced?
Well, if you're not gonna take the body on that team, just you're not gonna get in the way and slow them down, or take, like we talked about, time and space. They got great speed and they're very talented. So that was a result of what happened in that game. A part of it, anyhow.
You guys spent a lot of time in your own zone the last little while. What's the key for you to making sure the play goes the other way?
Killing plays quicker. And exiting the zone quicker. When we kill plays and get the puck, where's our outs? Let's get going. Transition from defense to offense. We got to be better at that.
Looks like you might change your goaltending rotation a bit. Is that based on Scholars having a really good game, or is it greater playing with the back-to-back coming up?
Back-to-backs too, but Stoley had one hell of a game. We all know that. So that was the call tonight to go back with him.
That is head coach Craig Berube mapping out some lineup decisions. Let's talk about the blue lines with McCabe back. It's McCabe, Tanev, Riley, OEL, Benoit, Timmins. Pretty darn good on that Maple Leaf blue line, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty solid. And, I think they really miss Jake McCabe because he's a bit of a stabilizer. And he's got, he's not on track to have as many points as he did last year, 28 points. But, he's got a team best plus 11. And Craig Berube's talking about exits, getting on plays quicker, and that sort of personifies his game. He goes in, closes guys out right away, gets the puck up to the forwards, and they get those easy breakouts. So I think for him coming back, a lot of those issues that they've had the last couple games since he's been out, I think are going to be cleaned up. And, it's a lot of unsung heroes amongst this team, but I think he's been one of the top amongst this group because he just quietly goes about his business, plays the game the right way, and I feel he's the leader on the back end, him and Tanev, on what Craig Berube's system is all about too. So OEL's been great as well, but it's good to see McCabe come back because he's a number muncher, a minute muncher, eats a lot of minutes, plays the game the right way, plays heavy, makes the other team accountable. And I think the key against Anaheim tonight is just making them pack up and say, hey, you know what, we got to live to fight another day. And McCabe playing that heavy game and playing that no mercy type, and Leafs as a whole will help them secure another 2 points tonight.
Okay, let's hear from Jake McCabe. Here he is talking about what they need to do tonight, meaning the Leafs.
We snuck a couple points out of Jersey, and we definitely didn't have it that night, but we found a way to get 2 points, and we're looking for almost a bounce-back effort tonight. Even though we did get the win, we won a much better effort of our group tonight, top to bottom, and just moving our feet again and being a little bit more connected in all three zones.
When you've been in the lineup with Perrin and Chris, you guys have been really able to shut the opposition down nicely. What works so well for the Perrin and 5-on-5?
It's just our mentality, honestly. It's part of it. We go over the boards, and our job is to keep the puck out of the net and get the puck to our forwards and get transitioning and spend as little time in our D zone as possible. He does a great job of positioning. He's the most willing player in the league to eat shots from everywhere. We talk well, and I think we've been pretty good with the puck as well. So when you're good with the puck, you have to defend less. That's kind of what I always how I look at it. So it's been going good so far, and excited to get back out there with him tonight.
How crucial is that positioning piece that he is at all times, more or less?
Yeah, I think that's kind of my job or my goal. I said my league guy had told me earlier in my career that he's doing a good job if his partner's having a good game, and I think that's a good way to look at it as a defenseman. If your partner's having a good game, that means you're doing a good job. So I think we both kind of feel that way.
The PK's really improved this year. What's the biggest difference Lane Lambert's made in terms of the mentality or the approach there?
I think the approach, he's very well prepared. He gives us a good idea of what to expect that night. Very black and white and what each person's responsibility is out there. And it's been going good. And the most important part of a penalty kill is, in my opinion, good goaltending, which we've gotten all year. So, the ones that you're going to give up seam passes and they're going to make plays out there. They got the team's best players on the power play. So there's going to be times where you get seamed and get seamed again, but our goalie's been making big stop after big stop. So.
Jake McCabe getting set for his return tonight. When you look at the other blue line, there's some tough customers back there. Fowler, Trouba, Gudis, look out.
Yeah, watch out for the Gudis monster back there. And, he's a team that drags this team into the fight. But if I'm them, I'm just not trying to get into the extracurriculars, right? Because they know they're not very competitive at this year. But he's got to find a way to keep them into the games, and sometimes he mixes it up. So if I'm Toronto, in the NHL, you control two things, your smiles and your cries. Do not get into a crying match with him. Just smile and go about your business because you want him on the ice. And, yes, he is a solid player too, but sometimes he gets caught in the defensive end as well. So Gudis is good. Brian Dumoulin is a pretty decent player too, but two players to keep your eye on is that bottom pair of Mitkinov and Olin Zellweger. These guys are young, up-and-coming defensemen that can dance across the line. So take away their time and space because they can hurt you, and those are two up-and-coming stars that you're going to be hearing about them a lot sooner than later.
And they have some young talent on this team. Carlson down the middle with McTavish. These two guys will be franchise players at some particular point, and they're on their way there.
Yes, great players, and McTavish is another guy that plays the game the right way, and it's almost sort of the blueprint, and you're seeing the Toronto Maple Leafs give Minton an opportunity, but McTavish is one of those guys. I know he has a bit of a higher pedigree, but this is the guy that they've just thrown into a situation. He made the most of an opportunity, earned a spot, and is turning into a young leader in this young Anaheim Mighty Ducks team.
So you look at the schedule, Anaheim here tonight. We have the game Saturday. Leafs are in Detroit, and then back Sunday back home again against Buffalo. I've called this the Bermuda Triangle because these teams are, they're searching, they're hoping, but they're not doing much. So you have to be careful, right?
Nothing burger teams, but they're not listening, right? We hope they are, but but I think it's some of these games at this time of year get really challenging, right? Because some of the teams are on the downward spiral, and it's the holidays. You've got friends and family coming in, and sometimes you can fall down to the level of play of some of these other teams. So if I'm Toronto, especially after coming in a Jersey game where you only had 2 shots through the game's first 26 minutes, you have to find a way to come out of the gate. So I'm going to be not scoreboard watching, shot clock watching, where I expect to see a 10 before that clock hits 0 in the first period.
Yeah, that would be nice. What's your take on Auston Matthews? I mean, obviously in the New Jersey game, he had many opportunities and finally cashed in at the ultimate moment. Looked a lot better than he did maybe in the previous 2 games, but then looked stupendous a week ago against Nashville.
People lie, but numbers don't lie. And he's just, where we could say, he's not as hot. He's got 4 goals, I believe, in his last 5 games. And, whatever that injury is, it takes time. You're crossing time zones. You're crossing the pond, coming back. Mentally, that takes a toll. So regardless of the physical toll that's been plaguing him the last little bit, the fact mentally, it's going to take a little bit of time. But when the moment calls for it, he steps up. And on that breakaway that he had, he could have easily said, you know what, I'm not feeling it. But he put his body on the line to create separation against Brett Pesce, who's one of the top D in the league, and knocked him off the puck and made a big, big moment. So for me, it's him stepping up in the big moment when the moment calls, and that's the leadership of Auston Matthews with this group.
That's quite a goal. That's will and skill all combining on the same play.
Yeah, that's, I was calling that. I don't think I've had many of those in NHL hockey, probably junior and minor league, but just to be able to take over the game physically. He could have easily had a hat trick last night. I believe he had 3 or 4 breakaways.
Yeah.
He was all over the ice, 6-7 shots. So for him, it's just about building, right? And let's not mince words here. He has the ability to have 10 goals in 10 games. So let's now give him a little bit of a longer runway before we judge if he's one of the, is he slowing down? What's going on with his leadership abilities? He is the man here, and I'm sure he's going to show it a lot sooner than later.
He had 10 shot attempts. 5 got through in that game.
You got to hit the net. You got to hit the net. That's a weekend for me.
That's a career for some.
I know. Me too. Yeah, my career. Yeah.
So what do they have to guard against here?
I would just say a little bit of discipline here. The power play for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks was 0 for 5 against the Ottawa Senators the other night, so they're due. So you don't want to give them another 3-4 opportunities because they do have the talent with Mitkinov and Zellweger. McTavish can make some plays, Carlson. So have a good start, stay out of the penalty box, and give Stoley, the goalie, a break. You don't want to have him have another 40 shots against. Try to keep him under 25, please, and thank you.
Now, you also want to have some pace, right? You want to deal the cards as opposed to figuring out what you're getting?
Well, I know we want to stay awake up here, so we want a fast-paced game. But if I'm Toronto, just slowly advance the puck, get it below the dots, play a little methodical, do not give them any open looks through the neutral zone, and eventually the talent will take over, whether it's the power play, whether it's a big play on the penalty kill. This team is too talented to be stopped at 5-on-5 consistently. Don't chase the game, let the game come to you.
I think we're waiting for that dominant Maple Leaf performance, but having said that, the way they're playing, the figuring out how to deal with an adverse night, the playing through situations, the staying with the program. I mean, that's worth something, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're waiting for the Picasso, but again, this isn't the art business. So for them, it's about collecting points, and the fact that they're sitting second in the division right now, two points behind the Stanley Cup defending Florida Panthers. With this many man game losses, they should be thanking their lucky stars, because we could have easily talked about them maybe being, the Ottawa Senators or the Tampa Bay Lightning, in and out of a playoff spot. So that's no excuses. There's going to be injuries, but the fact that they dealt with that adversity and they're still standing shows why this group is different than years past.
We'll set up the opening face-off for you next. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Holy moly.
Santa, welcome to Indigo.
Heather, Indigo's chief book lover, just who I was looking for. I need a perfect book for the book clubbers on my list. Thoughts?
My book club loved Like Mother, It's a rich, delicious...
What's up, hockey fans? How we doing tonight? It's the Leafs and the Ducks. Oh, man, this is going to be a fun one tonight. Hopefully we take that momentum that we got at the end of the last game there against the Devils in overtime in that third period, and hopefully we take it to the Ducks tonight. Great to see everybody in the chat. Veronica, Miss V, how you doing? Coolio, hey, Coolio, how you doing, buddy? And Stefan, Brandy, Gale, Rod Bottomley, Mike St. Jean, Brad Smith, Brenda J. I love it. You guys are awesome. There's Johan as well. Madison Haynes. How's it going, Madison? Man, Madison Haynes has been watching TSI and hanging out with us since the very beginning. Thank you, Madison, for always hanging out with us in the chat and occasionally seeing your stuff over there on Instagram whenever I get on Instagram. It's not very often. Actually been doing a lot of work with TikTok lately on my soccer channel because I'm trying to learn it for this stuff. Jody as well, how you doing? Spacky in the house, how you doing, Spacky? I got water. I got a fountain drink that is now water. There's Sue as well. Hey, Sue. Victor Marriott, how you doing, Victor? All right. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below. Get on it. Make sure you've hit that like button. We're at 31 likes right now. It's about to be puck drop. Let's smash that like button down below as well. Please share this link out, guys and gals, so that we can get more hockey fans here in the chat. There's Lucius as well. What's up, Lucius? Good to see you. All right. Hockey's coming soon. Go Leafs, go. Big game tonight.
And the hope is those recently returning Pacioretty, Matthews, Nyes, and Domi will take it a step further. So, will the Leafs rope-a-dope the Ducks, or will they take control right from the start? Well, let's find out. Most of Canadian Leafs hockey starts now.
It's time for Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Welcome inside Scotiabank Arena. Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network. Jim Taddy alongside Anthony Stewart, the former NHLer, and Joe Bowen and Jimmy Ralph standing by, getting their accounts and descriptions in order. Leafs projected lineup to start: Matthews between Marner and Nyes, Tavares centering Nylander and Pacioretty, Minton centering Domi and Holmberg, Dewar centering Reeves and Lorentz on the blue line, Morgan Riley, Oliver Ekman Larson, Jake McCabe is back in with Tanev, Simon Benoit, and Connor Timmins, and Stolars starts in goal. What do you make of all that, Anthony?
Yeah, I think it's good for the Toronto Maple Leafs to have their stabilizer and Jake McCabe back after missing a number of games with that head injury, and it's good to see him back and healthy, and I'm sure he's going to step right into the mix of playing that physical game, and Chris Tanev blocking shots where it just makes it so easy as a goaltender and Stolars to make those saves because the crease is cleared and they're not giving any of those high danger opportunities. So it's interesting to see now. For me, it's going to be that Fraser-Minton line. How does Domi do, in that third hole there? And I'm still looking for them to have that constant identity. What is their identity? It's been a bit of a vortex since game one. So Holmberg, great job last night adding some secondary scoring last game versus New Jersey, scoring shorthanded. So I'm looking for that third line to maybe be the equalizer, someone that gives them a leg up tonight as well too. But again, Auston Matthews continues just to dominate, looking for him to continue as well. William Nylander and Mitch Marner, who's amongst the league leaguers. So it's great to see right now that all systems are rolling, a little bit more consistency with this group, and I could see them catching Florida before it's all said and done.
It's great to find out and use or utilize the depth you have, but it's always better to have everybody in their proper spot.
Yes, and McMahon is going to jumble up the lines a little bit. Is he going to be in the two-hole? And what happens with Max Pacioretty, who seems to be not missing a beat since he's been back since injury, adding a physical element. So that left side seems to be the strength for the Maple Leafs right now. But right now, the Stars, I think, are going to take over against an Anaheim Mighty Ducks team who seems to be struggling as of late, losing 4 of their last 5 games.
Yeah, they've hit the ice. The Leafs are about to hit the ice, led by Anthony Stolars, and that'll happen in mere seconds. There he is coming out, and here will be the response. One thing that the Leafs want to exploit is special teams. The Anaheim power play is 29th in the league. and their PK is 29.
Is that good? How many teams are there? 100 teams or no? And in today's NHL, your specialty teams got to be special, so look for them to capitalize. But what you don't want to do is give them another 3-4 opportunities on the power play, because they do have some talented players in Leo Carlson, Strome, McTavish, Brian Dumoulin, and Cam Fowler. So discipline is your best penalty kill. Look for them to stay out of the box tonight.
So Anaheim had a tough night in Ottawa, losing 5-1 last night. The Leafs playing a couple of nights ago and being pushed to the limit to get by the Devils by a score of 2-1. What does all that mean? Well, we'll find out with the opening face-off next with Joe Bowen and Jimmy Ralph. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
How about Josh Allen? He's amazing. Right now, he's the NFL MVP.
When it happens in the NFL, we're reacting to it on SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Pittsburgh Steelers are for real with Russell Wilson under center. He is red hot.
Get closer to the game with interviews with players, coaches, and executives.
Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy joining us.
We have a hell of a culture here, and it's something.
All right, we are minutes away from puck drop. We got the chat popping off. Joffrey Curry's in the house. Ilya is in the house. Ilya Klobuchar, how you doing? Hit that like button. I love it. You guys and gals listened very, very well. We went from 31 to 101 likes in that short amount of time. So thank you. There's Pierre in the house as well. Jose Duarte's here. Stuart Liddell is here. Sue is just raring to go. GLG, go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. Love it. Mark Daigle in the house. Mark Daigle, the original Cheers man. I love it. Steve A. What's up, Steve? How you doing, man? And Brad Smith, that TSI logo and then the 100K, the TSA 100K, TSI 100K. That's awesome. I'm going to pin that in like the second period. So don't I won't be mad at you if you spam that a few times to get my attention when I am dropping kids off from one place to the next here as we go. So I am getting the game up and ready to roar on the phone. I'll be in the chat. We'll see you guys back in there. Hey, Kevin the man, what's up? Canadian guy up north as well. Leanna Netling in the house. Good to see you. All right, let's have some fun. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you in the chat. And let's get a good start here. Let's get an early goal, eh? All right.
Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM.
Jose Duarte, holy cow, $20 super chat. I gotta heart that thing and get it back in the live chat. Let's go Leafs. You see it right there in the chat. Jose, thank you so much for that support. That is huge, man. Unbelievable. Everybody, let's give some big hype to Jose and get that Go Leafs Go going in the chat. Let's go. Thank you, Jose. You rock, man. You're awesome.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The Ducks of Anaheim arrive in town to tangle with the Maple Leafs, and the starting lineup brought to you by Molson, the official beer sponsor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Anthony Stolarz, fresh off an outstanding effort in New Jersey, goes back-to-back for the Maple Leafs. He's 9-5-2 on 2.13 goals against average and a league-leading .928 save percentage.
Lucas Dostal will start for Anaheim. He's 6-7-3, 2.67 his goals against average, but a very respectable 9.21 save percentage for the Ducks goaltender. The Leafs start the Matthews line, and we're ready to go as the puck is dropped. And the Leafs gather the puck up and send it in, and it is Jake McCabe, fresh off the injured list, to get it into the zone. Ducks get it out into center ice now, and it'll be shot into the Toronto end. Stolarz stopping the puck back of the net, tried to play it into the corner for Marner. Marner's pass was batted up on the wing, bouncing to the line, and kept in there by Troy Terry. The Leafs will get it up on the boards, and now Matthews works back in his own zone. Got it to Tanev as the Leafs are going to change. Tanev is around back of the net. He gets it up to his defense partner, and McCabe skates to the red line and sends it down into the zone. Puck into the corner as Tavares goes in there after it. It bounces away from his man, and Pacioretty couldn't come up with it. And it is Brett Leeson getting it to center and in on the left wing now for Anaheim, and an angle shot that is swallowed up by Stolarz and held for a face-off in the Toronto zone. The face-off in the Leaf zone brought to you by Alpine Credits. You own your own home and need a loan, Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca.
Now we can talk about Anthony Stolarz and the great game that he played against New Jersey a couple of nights ago. Guy at the other end of the ice last January had a pretty good game against the Leafs, Joe. 57 shots. And you remembered, Leafs scored late to tie it. John Tavares scored with about 5 minutes to go in regulation, and then Auston Matthews won it in overtime. But the Leafs had outshot the Ducks in that game 57-28. So fortunately for Anthony Stolarz, he was eventually rewarded at the other end. But Lucas Dostal in goal for the Ducks tonight.
Doesn't always happen, does it? No. That great performance is gone for naught. Played around the boards. Pacioretty deflects it, but it comes out in front. Shot, stop, rebound. Is knocked wide of the Leaf goal. Tavares trying to play it high to center ice, and Pacioretty will get it into the zone, but the Ducks are back to recover it. The Leafs have got to try to have a better first period than they've had in recent games, and they've started here with 2 shots against as the Ducks go back to regroup now at their own blue line. Played off on the far side by Trouba. Jacob Trouba, the newest acquisition, and now a shoot-in has gone awry and gone up into the screen and out of play.
So you've got a team that has struggled to make the postseason for a number of years now. You got a team that played last night in Ottawa against the Senators. You're pretty much out of excuses not to have a decent start or a decent game. And let's face it, it's really been a couple of weeks since the Leafs have played a complete 60-minute game.
Played down into the area back of the Leaf goal once more. Minton trying to play it up on the wing for Domi. That was knocked away. Domi gets it to the line, but not out. Long shot deflects back of the Toronto goal. Riley will push it along the wall, and it is chipped high to center ice. Trouba will block that. Get it off on the left wing, and it is fired right back in again by Minchukov as the Leafs go back into their own zone. They've not been in the Anaheim end of the rink yet to get a shot on goal. Puck in the center ice area once more. Jackson goes back into his own zone. Got it over for Radko Gudas, who plays it down into the Toronto end. Playing it around the boards on the far side, except when he decides to dismember somebody with a body check. And we're going to get an icing here against Toronto. He's the guy that you hate but would love to have, isn't he?
Well, a lot of people will remember an overtime goal by Nick Cousins that eliminated the Leafs in the second round against the Florida Panthers. Radko Gudas in the picture holding the stick of a Leaf player while screaming into the face of Joseph Wall after it had gone in. So yeah, that's at this point you're still the guy you want to hate.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yep.
And you're right though. He was a warrior,
and the best example I have how much I hated Darcy Tucker. Hated Darcy Tucker.
Until.
Yeah.
Where do we get one of those?
Yeah. Where do we get one of those? And how much does it cost? because I'm all in. Played off the boards and into the Anaheim zone, and another icing call here against Toronto. And the first 3 minutes of this period are rather reminiscent of the first period the other night when the Leafs mustered just one shot on goal in New Jersey.
For Anthony Stolarz, it's the first time he's played back-to-back games since November 3rd to the 8th when he had 3 consecutive starts. And in those 3 starts, gave up 3 goals, which included a shutout over the Boston Bruins here at home.
Here's a giveaway, and Matthews in with a drop pass instead of backhanding. Then Marner with a shot, and it went just wide of the goal, and the Leafs from almost nothing end up getting a couple of decent scoring chances, and now trying to make a pass was Tanev, and it was blocked. It comes to the near wing. Marner getting it freed up now for McCabe. Up ahead for Matthews. On the left wing, closing and shooting, and a stick save made by Dostal. Now along the boards, it's out at center ice. And that's the thing about this Leaf team. They can be almost dopey as far as sitting back and all of a sudden, boom! And they have the ability on the attack, and Matthews is the key part of that.
It didn't look like he got a lot on this one either, did it, Joe? Coming in, tries to go 5-hole on it. But I would say, especially watching live, that shot doesn't quite have the same zip it did a year ago.
Brought on now by Marner, who drops it for Nylander. He closes. That shot was blocked. The rebound. Pacioretty on the far side took his man out. Then Nylander was tripped, but neither of the officials seemed to see that. So it is brought out at center ice now by the Ducks and flipped into the Toronto zone by Ryan Strome. Around the boards, it'll come back to the point. Shot by Trouba was deflected wide of the Leaf cage. Far corner now, it's McTavish trying to get it out into the slot. A shot from the blue line, bouncing. Tell you what, Anthony Stolarz might be a very good goaltender, but I'm betting he could play shortstop pretty well too. That was a one-hopper that he managed to just snap right out of the air.
Well, what if he's got a bad arm?
I don't know what kind of a bat he's got too.
I know.
I would hope.
I think you got to be a little more thorough.
All right. You know what? We'll go to spring training. Hey, the way the Blue Jays are playing, you could use anybody. Come on.
It'd be great if he just got up and rifled it into the crowd. Just said, what?
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Bouncing puck in the Leaf zone. Pushed up on the left wing. Out at center ice now for Ekman Larsson. Down into the corner it goes as Minton was knocked off the puck. Domi is able to backhand it in around back of the net. Lacombe Jackson playing it into the near corner. And a long lead pass gets out on the left wing, and the Ducks are in with a shot from an angle that was stopped on the short side by Stolarz. At the point of drive, nicely blocked there by Minton. Tries to work it out at center ice, and then misfired on a pass as Domi, it was out of his reach. Back into the Toronto zone it goes. Pass up on the left wing. Nice. Plays it in the midst of a change. Going around back of the goal then is Vetrano, and he'll get it out at center ice. Marner brings it back in for the Maple Leafs. Marner dropping off for Matthews. Slides by one. Pitch to the front of the net. Wraparound attempt was stopped. And then Alex Killorn just pushes it back to his goaltender. And Lucas Dostal will hold on for a face-off as Matthews has had a couple of decent chances.
That one on the wraparound, but Dostal did not overplay it on the short side. He was rather quick to get from post to post. Maybe at that point you're just trying to bank it in off a skate.
Yeah,
might get in at a blue point.
Pass on the left wing. Riley tries to center. It was deflected back at the net. Riley got it again. Tried to center it again. That was blocked at the short side with the paddle down by Dostal. And now here are the Ducks getting it out at center. Brought in on the right wing with a pass into the slot area, and Leeson couldn't get it in front of the net. Leafs trying to punch it up the boards, and they get it to the line, but not out the first time. They do the second. Trouba playing it off on the wing and sending it down into the Toronto zone as both teams are changing. Approaching 6 minutes into the period. Shots are 3-2, so already the Leafs have doubled Our output from the other night. Down into the offensive zone go the forward line of Steven Lorenz, along with Reeves and Dewar. Dewar gets a loose puck in the slot, tried to flip it into the corner. That didn't work, and then Dewar took a healthy run at one of the defenders. The puck goes in over the Toronto line, a bouncing puck into the corner. Benoit is in there, and it is grabbed off a stick, almost played in front of the goal there by Connor Timmins. A pass now, Dewar is able to get to it, but the Leafs don't get it out as Reeves failed to get it past. Now Lorenz got it ahead for Dewar, who stick handles in over the line. Plays it around the boards out of the reach of Reeves, but it'll go to Lorenz, back to Reeves. Reeves gets away from one, centered in front of the net, and it's going to be covered up by Dostal as it just failed to reach the Leaf forward in front of the net.
I think that might have been Jake McCabe that had jumped down because of the line change, but Ryan Reeves had him in his sights but couldn't get it through the traffic in front.
A break in the action, no score, Anaheim and Toronto. And you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Leave the noise and the chaos of the holidays behind and escape to a channel filled with cozy piano, string and horn versions of your holiday favorites. Set the mood for a stress-free season with Sirius XM Holiday Instrumentals. Now through Christmas Day on the SiriusXM app, along with dozens of other holiday channels and specials.
The biggest play.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, traveling to our home arena, Scotiabank Arena, tonight to take on the Leafs on a special Thursday night edition. Thank you all for hitting that like button. I know that you've already done it, or you're doing it right now, so thank you for hitting that like button and helping bring us more hockey fans here to our channel to hang out and have some fun together while we watch the Leafs beat up on the Mighty Ducks tonight. Let's take advantage of that overtime win and the bounce that comes with it, and let's get after it tonight. Thank you guys for hitting the like button and sharing this link out. We'll see you back in the chat.
European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
With the Anaheim Ducks goaltending coach, Peter Budaj, who...
Sudsy.
Yeah. But one of the things that was so interesting with that is what a story he's had as far as health concern and beating pancreatic cancer. And
he said in a lot of ways he was lucky. There were symptoms early on.
Shot from the point, stopped the rebound in front, they score! Max Pacioretty on his stomach is able to bat the puck in behind. Lucas Dostal, and Pacioretty opens the scoring for the Maple Leafs.
John Tavares won the draw. Pacioretty got it back to the point. It was fired towards the net, hit a wall in front of Dostal. But John Tavares adroitly chips a backhand pass between his own legs across the top of the crease, where Pacioretty simply had to dive forward and sweep it into the empty part of the goal to give the Leafs the 1-0 lead.
The Leafs are 11-1-1 when they score first, which is the best mark in the National Hockey League. The New York Rangers are next at 12-2.
Well, in Anaheim, when giving up the first goal, 1-9-1. But this was a great play by John Tavares. He gets the rebound. He's got his back to the Anaheim goal, and he just threw his legs across the top of the crease, and Max Pacioretty won the race to the loose puck. For Pacioretty, his first goal, first point since coming back from an injury.
Third goal of the season for Pacioretty. Backhanded high in back of the Toronto goal, cut off there by Benoit. fed ahead on the wing. Pacioretty on the near boards, battles to get it out but failed. It goes to an open wing. Ducks get there first and will send it in wide of the net. Round back of the goal into the near corner. Harkins trying to come out with it. Cycles it back along the boards. Played around back of the net. Cut off adroitly there by the Leafs, but they can't get possession of the puck cleanly. Onto the near wing. Pacioretty again trying to play it out. Timmins gets it back and around the boards. It's going to find Nylander. Nylander plays it to his goaltender, and Timmins takes it, or at least Timmins took it from him, and they finally get it down into the Anaheim zone. Bouncing puck up against the boards. Knocked into the corner. The Ducks play it along the boards, not out. Right back into the corner it goes for Domi. Centering pass! Oh, and a one-timer by Minton went just wide. Now Minton looking for a man, goes back to the point. It goes off his stick. Bounces out into the center ice area. Racing back after it was Tanev, and he got some assistance there from Pontus Holmberg as Domi got it into the center ice area. Trying to work it up the boards. The Ducks can't get it into the Leafs zone, and then it's played in over the line as Toronto is in the midst of a change.
I tell you, Minton got something on that shot too, didn't he?
Did he ever? Strome back in his own zone. Gudas takes it back behind his goal and plays it into the corner. Looks for a return pass, and now Gudas with a lead pass. It goes off a stick and all the way down the ice, but it's going to be offside, called by the linesman, and we might as well identify them. Brandon Grillo and Scott Cherry, the linesman. Brian Pakmara and Kendrick Nicholson are the referees.
This long attempted pass, it's going to be an offside, is going to serve very similar to an icing call as the faceoff comes all the way back in the Anaheim zone. And the difference is Ducks can get a change in.
Draw one by Matthews. Here's Riley. A centering pass! Just tipped wide by Matthews, and it went up into the screen out of play.
Boy, set play, but right off the draw. Leafs win the draw, and Jackson Lacombe decides he's going to chase Mitch Marner towards the front of the net. That left the lane for Morgan Riley to jump down the left wing boards. And he spots Auston Matthews back door, but Jay just cannot connect. Looked like Matthews had a pretty good opportunity just to tip that into the empty side.
Played down in along the boards far side. Gudas tries to find the near point, and the puck comes out at center. Good play made by the Leafs defense there, and a centering pass then is knocked into the corner. Oliver Ekman-Larsson was playing that 2-on-1 perfectly, but now he gives the puck away, and a centering pass in front goes off the stick of goaltender Stolarz, and the Leafs are breaking it out at center ice. Nyes weaves in on the right side, stands it up, tried to drop it off. It goes to Riley. Riley plays it around the boards to the left wing side, and Matthews is there. Pinned to the boards. Matthews and Nyes trying to dig it free, but it is dug out finally by Vetrano, and now here the Ducks try to work it up with Jackson Lacombe coming to, or Lacombe Jackson coming to center and shooting it in. Leafs come through center ice, and Dewar launches it into the left wing corner. Fowler goes around back of the net. Fowler up against the boards, had it stripped away, in front for Reeves, and he couldn't handle the pass. Reeves is able to keep it in though, got it around back of the net. In goes the Leafs forward, Lorenz with a pretty good hit. Lorenz centering pass, and it was too high, and it has gone past Dewar and all the way down into the zone. Quickly played by Stolarz to center, and McCabe just redirects it back into Anaheim territory. Leafs leading 1-0 after the first half of the first period. Lead pass at center, brought in over the line. Mitrokov with a shot that deflected off the goal stick of Stolarz, and it is played high to center ice. Bouncing puck to Nylander. The linesman called that offside. I'm a disbeliever.
Well, I guess they're going to say that Nylander didn't have control of the puck.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, it is going to be faced off in the center ice area. 1-0 in favor of the Maple Leafs on a Max Pacioretty goal. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations.
From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Firefighter Finn McHose, that's a nickname, right? Needed help contending with a blaze of debt. He called Alpine Credits and a superhero was sent his way. Summoning water, she extinguished the fire and consolidated his debt into one low monthly payment. His floors may be wet, but his debt is under control. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Fiscal license 12616.
Jim, sweetie, it's me, Dawn, on the radio. Please don't get me earrings again this year. I have a jewelry box full of them. I love them, but all I really want is a gift certificate to Thermea Spa Village. And who knows? If you get a gift certificate for 2, I might even make you my +1. Okay, love ya.
This holiday season, give your loved ones what they really want. Give the gift of Thermea. Visit thermea.com/Whitby to purchase a gift certificate. Take good care.
Face off outside the Anaheim blue line.
The ice scraper's off the ice first.
I'm going to try.
He was kind of getting the evil eye from the linesman, right?
Guys were a little tardy in their ice cleaning duties.
Thought they were just going to put pylons up and go home.
Maybe. Flipped high into the Anaheim zone.
They do that in downtown Toronto.
I know. Oh, I've seen that. Yes. Played along the boards then by the Leafs into the corner. It'll come back towards the blue line, but McCabe just able to keep it in over the line. And now Trouba sends a long left wing pass out of the reach of everyone. And icing is the call against the Ducks.
I will say that
I can't get Mighty out of it.
I know.
I can't.
I wonder how hard it was. I know it was before you, and the California Golden Seals.
Yes.
Became the Oakland Seals and then the California Seals.
Mm-hmm.
How hard it was to get those straight.
I remember doing a game in the old Cow Palace in Los Angeles, or in San Francisco. Up on the left wing now for the Leafs, and Matthews rings the boards to the far side. Alex Killorn got there first. It comes to the side of the goal. Nyes couldn't get to it. Killorn played it back into his own territory. Now the Leafs getting it back to the point. D-to-D pass finds Riley, who tips to Marner, who gets the shot away. Just wide of the net, in front of the net. Riley couldn't kick it free. Leafs are able to keep it in, have a man down low. Matthews with a shot, and that is stopped by Dostal. Auston Matthews was late coming out of the zone, and it almost cost the Ducks dearly.
It was Mitch Marner that caused the turnover, and then Matthew Nyes found Matthews in front of the Anaheim goaltender, just off to the left. Downside for Matthews is he was standing still, so his options were pretty limited by the time he got the puck.
Leafs keep the puck in with a long shot from the blue line that Dostal will catch and hold on for a face-off in the zone.
Well, goaltenders have split it pretty evenly for the last month or so. Like we said, the last time that goaltender played more than back-to-back games, or back-to-back games or more, was Stollar's back when he relieved Joseph Wall after Wall had played back-to-back games at home. I believe it was Seattle, and then lost in St. Louis, and then 3 straight for the other way.
Point is Holmberg trying to get into the zone, and Radko Gudas got the stick between his legs, and the captain of the Ducks is going to the penalty box.
Anaheim in the 7. 2 minutes to tripping.
So the Leafs get to the power play for the first time in the game. Brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Gudas for tripping.
Leafs are just 2 for 14 in the last 6 games. on the power play.
And off the boards and down the ice it goes off a face-off win by Anaheim. Stolar's leaving it there. Marner starts out. He's going to drop it back. Matthews coming through center. 5 forwards on the ice for the Maple Leafs. Nylander getting it into the corner now for Matthews. Centering pass comes back to Marner at the blue line. Wrist shot coming and it's deflected wide of the goal. Up against the boards, Matthews and Nyes, or at least Tavares and Nyes trying to battle for it. It comes back towards the blue line and now Marner's got to get on his horse and play defense as it's brought in over the line now by the Ducks around back of the net. Lundestrom trying to play it back, and he's going to play it all the way back to Trouba back in the Anaheim zone. Pass ahead at center. Leeson gets it back to Trouba. They go D to D, and the Ducks trying to play keep away here. And it's finally iced by Anaheim. Marner holding it off in front of his own goal. Starts up slowly. Looks to make a drop pass and does. Matthews is the trailer. Works to the line and in on the left wing for Nyes. Nyes down into the left wing corner. Works around back of the net. Centered in front of the goal. Oh, he had a chance there and Domi was there. Now the Leafs keep the puck in. Nylander in for Domi with a bunch of debris out there on a broken stick. Marner, left wing side, a centering pass is going to be intercepted and it's shot down the ice by Anaheim. Stolar's back of the net, got it ahead himself, and Nylander starts through neutral ice. He hits the blue line and in, flips it into the corner. Pacioretty centers in front of the goal. Domi in front of the net, but it is going to be covered up by Dostal and held for a face-off in the Anaheim zone.
All right, 13 seconds left in the power play. I think that's the only second attempt to get it to the net. And it was just Oliver Ekman-Larsson had jumped down and took the pass from Max Pacioretty, but just in the feet of the Leaf defenseman.
Domi gets the puck back to the blue line, but the Ducks get it out into neutral ice. And Lundestrom sends it the rest of the way into the zone, and the penalty will expire without damage being done. Leafs coming through neutral ice now, and here's Nylander in over the line. Off on the wing it goes to Pacioretty. Centered in front, they score! Went up into the air and it deflects over top of Dostal, and the Leafs get a bit of a break and a 2-0 lead.
I think this goes off Brian Dumoulin, the Ducks defenseman, who put his stick out. Actually, Joe, it might have been Nylander, but after the puck flipped in the air, just sort of bunted it out of midair to get it past him. Dumoulin had his stick out. Yeah, this is, boy, watching the replay on this. Willie Nylander knocks this out of midair. And it just loops over the left shoulder of Dostal, short side and into the goal. But it did go off Dumoulin first, up into the air, and then bunted in by Nylander to give the Leafs at a 2-0 lead. And this is the way things have gone for Anaheim of late. Even last night. First period, Ottawa has the power play. Centering feed goes off the skate of Cam Fowler and in. So it's been a tough stretch for the Ducks and their goaltenders.
Max Pacioretty's going to get another point to go along with his goal, and it is 2-0 in favor of the Maple Leafs. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Sports Grid Radio on Sirius XM has you covered this NFL season.
An NFC West clash between the Rams and 49ers gets Week 15 of the NFL underway. Both teams are fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive, but more importantly, the 49ers started the week as 2-point favorites. Can they cover? Make sure you tune into Sports Grid Radio to stay up to date on all the latest.
The place to get the winning edge over the sports books this football season is Sports Grid Radio. Channel 159 in the car and on the Sirius XM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, a hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders, the revenues, and the big business,
And the best analysis on the air. Alex Ovechkin!
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The hockey fan watching the Ducks and the Leafs game. How you doing? Did you know Did you know that a group of Toronto sports fans, led by this guy and this kid over here, just poked his head out into the screen, started a chat, hanging out together, listening to every single Toronto Maple Leafs game, and we are on our way to 100,000 subscribers. Thank you all for hitting that subscribe button and turning on that bell and joining our awesome community of Leafs fans and Toronto sports fans. Now let's get back to the business. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat. Let's get that spamming going. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go.
Play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs with a 2-0 lead over the Anaheim Ducks.
A one-time blast from the right point, easily grabbed by Dostal. It was Simon Benoit, the former Anaheim Duck.
Morgan Riley's drawing an additional assist on the goal that comes at 14:17 of the first period. So the Leafs, after a couple of slow shifts to start the game, have pushed the envelope a bit here as the puck is in the Anaheim zone. A centering pass that was knocked away by the Ducks, who play it up on the wing, but pinching down there is Benoit to take his man down, and the Leafs are going to be penalized here, as a holding call is going to come to Simon Benoit, who will go to the penalty box.
Anaheim player went down in the process as well, and again, another penalty taken by the Leafs.
2-minute minor penalty, holding.
The other end of the ice, and I'm going to guess Craig Berube didn't like the call. I think what he didn't like about it was the dive. Although I still think, Benoit does have the left hand off the stick.
Yep. Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. And off the face-off win in the Leaf zone. It is wired around the boards and down the ice. Power play for Anaheim is 29th in the National Hockey League, 12 of 81. And the Leafs penalty kill has been pretty good of late, giving up 2 in their last 19 times short, as we get an offside at the Toronto blue line.
It is very different seeing certain players in a different uniform, right? And for Jacob Trouba, wearing number 65 instead of number 8 that he wore in New York with the Rangers. Now, the last 3 captains the Rangers have had have all been traded.
That's something.
Yep. Ryan McDonough, Ryan O'Callahan, and now Jacob Trouba. The last captain that wasn't traded and retired a Ranger was Chris Drury, the general manager who traded Jacob Trouba.
Maybe he's just trying to make sure that stays.
Yeah.
Look, Jackson on the far side. Shot wired wide, and the Rick O'Shea is all the way out and rolling down into Anaheim territory. Minute 14 to go in the power play for the Ducks. Jackson comes to center, drops the puck back, brought through neutral ice by Troy Terry. Terry in across the line, onto the left wing side for Ryan Strome. Back to the point it comes, over on the near side. Vetrano's shot and scores. And the Ducks get on the board on a power play goal. It's 2-1.
And this is one that Anthony Stolarz usually snaps up. But Vetrano takes the pass in the right wing circle, stops, sets, looks up, and then snaps it just over the right pad, just under the blocker. And inside the post far side on Stolarz. And again, you take those penalties at the other end of the ice. And the Leafs were pressing. And the Ducks turn around and make them pay. For Vetrano, that's his first goal in 5 games. Last year, he had a career high 37 goals on the season, played in the All-Star game. Career high in goals with 37 and points with 60.
Stolarz plays the puck into the corner. Tanev got forced in along the boards. The puck comes free. Ducks play it around back of the net. Tanev is able to play it around the boards to the near side. And now Pacioretty gets it out for Nylander. Nylander with Tavares. Nylander in trying to get it to Tavares, but he had it blocked. And now the Ducks are going to push it out into the center ice area. Anaheim on the left wing getting it down into the corner. Chopped around back of the net by Lundestrom, but it's taken away. Nylander comes back the other way for Pacioretty. Pacioretty in the slot. Nowhere to go with it. Takes a long, easy shot in on Dostal. And it is the Ducks getting control of the puck now with 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the period, and the Leafs with a 2-1 lead. Anaheim get it in and around the boards, around back of the net. Benoit let it go. Riley, or at least Matthews, trying to help out. Back of the net then for Timmins. Off the boards and out at center. It's not hard enough to go for icing. Trouba is back to recover. And the former Ranger gets it ahead, and it's banked to the line but not out. Now pushed to center ice. Quickly restored by Toronto. Bouncing disc for Matthews. He's going to send it in. And around back of the net, Dostal will leave it there and play it himself around on the far wing for Alex Killorn. Killorn's pass off a stick. Leafs have it again at their own blue line. Played ahead quickly for Nyes. Nyes dropping it back for Matthews. Matthews goes to the far side for Tanev, and a wrist shot is kicked away by the pad of Dostal. And the Ducks will get it out at center ice and lift it to the Leaf blue line and into the zone. McCabe sending it around the boards. Tanev couldn't help out. Domi couldn't get the puck out. Then a shot from the point. Wired off the crossbar. Leafs get it out into the center ice area. Hustling after here is Pontus Holmberg. He gets the puck free, looking for a man in front, but it is knocked by the Ducks ahead, and now a foot race is on. On the right wing side, McTavish in. Good blocking arm save made there by Stolarz. The puck comes free, and Minton comes to center. Minton is across the line, going to roll it in wide of the net. Goes in there after the loose puck, but it comes around the boards to Riley. His pass was a bad one, and Ryan Strome intercepts. Back come the Ducks in with another shot. That's stopped by Stolarz. And Domi turns to play it out at center ice for Tavares. Tavares across the line. Still with it on the far boards. Snowed under there by Cam Fowler. And the Ducks take it up on the left wing now and look to make a breakout as they get it out at center. Ryan Strome hits the blue line, but it's knocked back out at center ice by Nylander. Tavares is able to punch it deeper into Anaheim territory with less than a minute to go in the period, and the Leafs leading 2-1. Strome got it out at center, knocked out of the air by Nylander. Very similar to how he scored the goal, actually. Pretty good eye-hand coordination. Ducks bring it back in over the line. Lundestrom sends it around back of the net. Strome plays it off to the defense. The Leafs are changing the forward complement. And they'll wait back of the goal. And now a lead pass at center is redirected into the zone. 20 seconds to go in the period. Good hit there by Steven Lorentz, but the Ducks get it out at center. They'll work in over the line. Harkins twisting and turning, sends a high shot over top of the Leaf goal, back of the net with 6 seconds left. It's pinned up against the boards. The Leafs realize the time left in the clock. Time will run out.
I tell you though, what one moment can do to flip a period on its ear. The Leafs in full control. They have a 2-0 lead. You take a holding penalty in the offensive zone. Anaheim scores to make it 2-1. Then all of a sudden, Anaheim has, 3 or 4 decent opportunities off the rush.
Including a crossbar.
And that goal went right to their legs. And the Leafs might have been fortunate to get out of the first period up by 1.
Pacioretty and Nylander for the Leafs. Vetrano for the Ducks. It's 2-1 after 20. We'll step aside for Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Get closer to exclusive talk, comedy, and entertainment on SiriusXM. Be part of the buzzworthy moments with Andy Cohen,
Kelly Clarkson. I do want to do a duet with you.
No nonsense advice with Dr. Laura.
Is this advice that he asks you for? No. Then shut the hell up.
Unparalleled wit and A-list interviews with Conan O'Brien.
Billie Eilish.
How loud can you shout?
You haven't even heard it.
That's why I'm asking.
Don't miss an exclusive moment on SiriusXM.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders. The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air. Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM.
Hear every team and your...
Cheers, Insiders! Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. The Leafs and the Ducks. Thursday night, it's going to be a great matchup. We've got a bunch of competition running streams tonight, and I just wanted to stop in here and say thank you for making this the best place to watch the Leafs on YouTube and on the internet with this amazing group of people. We've got Stefan, Mr. Roboto, and Wilf in the chat right now, just going back and forth. The OGs of the channel, the bees in the house. Good to see you, gentlemen, and thank you all for making this community what it is. Now let's get back to the chat. Let's cheers it up. Let's cheer on our Maple Leafs, and we'll see you back in there.
1,500 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like, it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage in the National Hockey League. Oh, sure, they can score goals, but they can't prevent them. And this is why I don't take the Avalanche seriously as a Stanley Cup contender, no matter how top-heavy they are with future Hall of Famers. Their goaltending's bad.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio.
Let's tear them up.
Get him on his stick. Score!
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs go. Point, stop the rebound in front, they score! Max Pacioretty on his stomach is able to bat the puck in behind. Lucas Dostal, and Pacioretty opens the scoring for the Maple Leafs.
1-0 then, 2-1 now for the Leafs over the Ducks after 20 minutes of play. TSN After 20 is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Jim Taddy, Anthony Stewart with you live from Scotiabank Arena. Well, first half of that period was great. Then all of a sudden power play and a pea-shooter power play gets an easy goal, and suddenly it's a hockey game.
Yeah, and it's funny that Anaheim seemed like they were about to pack it in, and they said, hey, you know what? We actually might have a game here. And it started with the Simon Benoit penalty there where he took a penalty 200 feet away from his own end, and those aren't really good penalties to take, and they're even harder to kill. So in a game where they should just be cruising into that first intermission, up 2-0, they gave the Anaheim Mighty Ducks life with that power play goal that they ended up scoring. But then on top of that, they now found ways to try to stretch the zone, and they sort of took their foot off the gas and started pinching. And now it's a game. It's a game. And this Anaheim Mighty Ducks, despite their record in the National Hockey League, they are a team that has an abundance of talent up front. The Carlsons, the McTavish, you saw him on a 2-on-1, almost make it 2-2 as well. So if I'm Craig Berube, hey, you know what? We came up, we're up 2-1. We have to manage the puck a little bit better, not turn this into a track meet, and just have a little bit, when you have that momentum, find a way to keep it.
Speaking of momentum, I would go with the Tavares, Nylander, Pacioretty line. They look good, didn't they?
Yes, and in my notes here, I have chemistry, and it just starts with that John Tavares just area pass, puts it between his legs, knowing that Pacioretty is going to be somewhere there. And let's not, mix up words here. Pacioretty, he scored 30 goals 5 times in this league, so he knows where to put the puck and where to get open. So it's great to see that they're having some chemistry, and even a better play on the Nylander goal where he redirected on his backhand and knocked it out of midair. Beautiful hand-eye coordination to make it 2-0. So that line has been clicking. I've noticed the Matthews line. He's been picking some pockets as well, too. Nyes is getting it on the forecheck. The third line, Minton's had a great first period as well. So, again, just that last 5 minutes, they found a way to just lose that momentum, where now if they get it back in the second, they have to find a way to keep it and keep it constant.
Yeah, Auston Matthews already has 3 shots on goal and 2 that missed, so 5 attempts. You'd think that they would have known by now not to take the foot off the gas.
I think so, but I think it's just more so of just puck management and just underestimating the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. It is the National Hockey League. There is some talented players, and Vetrano can put the puck in the net. Terry can put the puck in the net. McTavish can shoot the puck as well. So yes, they're young, they're inexperienced a little bit, that Ducks team, but they have some quality players. So it's not necessarily about what Anaheim did. Toronto just found a way to, they're pinching at inopportune times. They're not managing the puck. They're taking penalties away from their zone. So just those little details that they did the first 15 minutes, they got away from that, and they need to find a way to get back to that with 40 minutes left to play in this game.
I don't know if you'll agree with me. The Ducks goal, the Vetrano goal, went in too easy, didn't it?
Yes and no. There were some layers there. There was a good, not screen, but there was a second and third guy in front of the net too, where I think Stolarz didn't really have a chance to really get set because, he has to find a way, obviously, to get in front of it, but he's got to worry about that second and third opportunity. So, a little bit clean, but I think on that pass, he got too wide of an open look. I think the winger, let that pass go from the flank to the up top and then kick it back to the other flank too. A little bit out of position for the penalty killers up front too. But again, the Stolarz has a lot of equity up here, so let's count it as a one-off.
Yeah, not criticizing him. I just thought, you don't see usually a power play goal. It's a one pass, and then he sort of changed the angle on his shot and right in. I think it was along the ice. Didn't have much on it.
Again, I've seen Vetrano over the years, and I think he scored 25 plus a couple times in this league. He knows where to put that puck, and when you have, I think, 3-4 seconds to get it off, you have a chance to sort of see where that open hole is, and he placed a perfect pot shot there.
So, the Leafs, I guess, learning that lesson again. They were up 2-0 and looked really good. Not to say that they couldn't come out in the second period and just take it to the Ducks again, but what do they? How do they do that? How do they get that momentum back?
I think just manage the puck a little bit better. The D are activating a little bit too much for my liking. I know that is part of the system, but we saw Benoit get caught down there. We saw Riley get caught in front of the net. He got caught on a pinch. So just the D, better choices. But if your D are going to be activating, you have to exaggerate the F3. So the F3 has to be boots up the ice, anticipating that puck might get out, not be cheating in front of the net. And it worked a couple times where you saw Matthews get an open look on a turnover there as well too. So they're living and dying by it. I think they just have to manage that a little bit better and make some better choices in the final 40 minutes.
So you would agree then that the Ducks sort of got back in the game when the Leafs allowed them to?
Yes, yes. And we have a group chat of some friends watching at home, and they're like, the Ducks stink. And 2 minutes later, it's 2-1. They're like, uh-oh, we've seen this story before. But it's the National Hockey League. There are no, everyone is high-quality players. Anaheim is struggling, but they have some game breakers. So Toronto's got to recognize that and just play a little bit more responsibly in this second period.
Well, we saw McTavish. You saw... Also, who am I looking for? The other forward, Carlson. I mean, these guys look good, don't they?
They do. And they have some guys that can make some big plays. And, I've seen McTavish, on that 2-on-1 there. I've seen him put that puck in probably 10, 12 times early on in his career, too. And you're seeing Gudas get involved a little bit on the offense in the physicality department as well, too. Trouba's springing some guys for some breaks as well. So this team, yes, they don't have a lot of wins, but, they have some players that are game breakers, and they got to be cognizant of that going forward.
It is 2-1 for the Leafs over the Ducks after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs. Celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Sam had aspirations of opening a clothing boutique. She called Alpine Credits and was sent a speedy superhero to help with a business loan. Super speed doesn't translate to radio, but when our hero runs, she sounds like this. If you ran at the speed of light, you'd sound funny too. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Just for license 12616. Why do I love getting my last-minute gifts at Shoppers Drug Mart? Well, lots of stores, many open late, great selection of gifts, and let's not forget the PC Optimum points. I get gifts for them and points for me, and so can you. Go to Shoppers. Exclusions apply.
A Tim's Donut and Coffee is the original collab. And right now in Toronto, any classic donut is $1 when you buy any size original or dark roast coffee. Get a deal on the iconic duo with the Tim's Dollar Donut. Plus tax at participating restaurants in Toronto for limited time. Terms apply. See app for details.
Is your car ready for winter's fury? Slide into your local Meineke Car Care Center for winter tire changeovers starting at $59.95. Because summer tires are like flip-flops in a blizzard. Don't miss out on our winter-ready package starting at $49.95, which includes an oil change, brake inspection, and more. Perfect for stopping, not sliding, into a snowbank. Plus, buy 4 tires and get 50% off an alignment. Book your appointment at Meineke.ca today. Terms and conditions apply. Meineke, doing car care right.
I'ma go harder than most. TSN and TSN Plus are your home for the National Lacrosse League on NLL Friday night. And get even more action on TSN Plus with every game all season long.
What a play!
Walmart's Magical Deals event is on now. Save big on holiday gifting essentials like a Keurig K-Express Essentials single-serve coffee maker. Now only $44.98 each. That's $45 in savings. Hurry and shop Magical Deals now, in-store or on walmart.ca.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town to get a great new Tundra or RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. We've got 13 other games. So in the first period, Kings and Devils are scoreless. Also in the first period, Chicago and the Islanders have nothing to report. In the second period, Detroit's in Philadelphia, no score there. End of the first period in Montreal, Hams and Penguins tied at 1. End of the first period, Columbus, Caps, and Jackets are scoreless. Getting set to start at 9 o'clock, Tampa and Calgary, Utah in Colorado against the Avs, and at 10, Boston and Seattle. And also we've got San Jose in St. Louis, which is about set to start now, and also the Golden Knights visiting the Jets, and also later on Panthers in Vancouver, Edmonton in Minnesota, and the Predators visiting the Stars, and these games will start in the next half hour or so. So that is your out-of-town scoreboard. It's 2-1 for the Leafs over the Ducks here. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
This one is surprising. When the sports world is talking, nobody gives you more perspectives than the experts of Sirius XM.
North Carolina finalizing a deal to make Bill Belichick their next head coach.
Hear instant reaction on NFL Radio.
The college game needs the help of someone like Bill Belichick. I don't want to sit here and say he's going to be the savior of college football, but someone has to be.
And expert analysis on college sports radio.
I think it's a great job. The resources are there. Carolina fans love football.
Live sports talk when you need it is on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders, the revenues, and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
Score!
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, traveling to our home arena, Scotiabank Arena, tonight to take on the Leafs on a special Thursday night edition. Thank you all for hitting that like button. I know that you've already done it, or you're doing it right now, so thank you for hitting that like button and helping bring us more hockey fans here to our channel to hang out and have some fun together while we watch the Leafs beat up on the Mighty Ducks tonight. Let's take advantage of that overtime win and the bounce that comes with it, and let's get after it tonight. Thank you guys for hitting the like button and sharing this link out. We'll see you back in the chat.
Two-1 lead into the second period on the strength of goals from Max Pacioretty from Tavares and McCabe, and William Nylander, his 18th from Pacioretty and Riley, before Vetrano from Lacombe and Strome would score on the power play as the Leafs outshot the Ducks 9-8 in the first period of play. And the second period is brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
Well, shaky start, good recovery, bad penalty, power play goal against, and the Leafs are in a battle. But you can see where, from an Anaheim standpoint, Joe, how fragile the confidence is. They give up a couple, they look like they're out of it, they get one back, and they get a little bit of jump, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Leafs come out and start the second period here.
I'm not a fan of these orange jerseys, Mr. Ralph.
No, me neither.
Of the Ducks.
I was talking to Josh about that up here.
Arm numbers are virtually impossible to read.
That's more of it's not quite a Philadelphia Flyer orange.
No, it's not. No, it's
like a lighter orange.
More of a Halloween orange.
Yeah, pumpkin orange.
Yeah, pumpkin. Yeah, pumpkin. Yeah, pumpkin orange. That's exactly what it is.
But they went away from their sort of purplish original colors.
Greg Cronin, the former Leaf assistant coach, is the head coach of the Ducks as they send it down into the Leaf zone, and right off the bat there's an icing call. Bring it back into the Anaheim zone. Draw will be to the right of Lucas Dostal. He and Anthony Stolarz had a long chat while they were warming up before the game. Down in the penalty box door area. Gudas had the puck stolen, and a shot was whistled just wide of the net. It comes back into the slot area now for Nyes. Played along the boards. And Joseph Wall is in goal for Toronto. Here's Matthews cutting in. Played it in front of the net. The backhand try was blocked. Matthews unable to get to it.
And they're saying lower body for Stolarz and won't return.
Well, that's not good news. So Joseph Wall is into the game here for Toronto. Up on the left wing, nicely played by Nyes. Trying to get in over the line. He really took Brian Dumoulin to task there. As it comes to the line, the Leafs are going to backhand it in. It's a delayed offside. Tavares unaware of that. Trying to press the attack, and it'll be whistled down.
I didn't see anything significant happen with Stolarz, but one thing the Leafs have done all season, and that's with every player, is they're going to err on the side of caution.
Well, let's hope that it is nothing serious.
It's one position. I mean, Joseph Wall was late starting the season because of an injury coming out of training camp, but for the most part, the most important players on the Leaf team have been the goaltenders, and they've been healthy to this point.
Leafs Pacioretty in the zone, getting it out at center for Tavares. Tavares hits the line with a pass to Nylander, closing in with a shot, and it is gloved by Dostal chest high, and he'll stop play and bring a face-off in the Anaheim zone. So let's give you Joseph Woll's statistics. First time he's ever faced the Ducks. He is 7-3-0 with a 2.20 goals against average and a .919 save percentage. But in his last 7 games, he is 6-1-0 with a 1.99 goals against average and a .929 save percentage. He and Stolars have been outstanding as the tandem as the shot is kicked away by the Anaheim goaltender. Back of the net now, trying to dig it free is Minton, and a penalty coming here.
That's going to be a holding call as Pontus Holmberg got latched onto.
Anaheim, number 65. Jimmy minor penalty, holding.
And it's going to be Jacob Trouba. I think Trouba knew once he'd latched onto him and felt Holmberg going down, Trouba thought, I'm going to go too.
See if I can.
Yeah, in fact, it was almost a wrestling move, wasn't it? Where he latched on and then pulled Holmberg down, but I think Trouba did the whole thing with the idea of trying to draw the penalty, not take one.
So the Leafs to their second power play. Marner to Nylander on the far boards. Down low to Matthews, coming in with the backhand try. Cuts into the goal crease area. And Nyes couldn't get his stick on it, or he had an empty net. Shot down the ice now by Anaheim. Marner brings the puck out at center. Works to the line and then drops it back for Willie. Nylander slides in on the right side, tried to play it off the boards. Tavares now engaged right at the blue line to try and keep it in. 3 Leafs are there as Marner gets it freed up. Over on the far side for Nyes. Nyes dropping it off for Nylander. In along for Tavares. Tavares tried to flip it back, then got it freed up and found Marner. Marner just does control the puck, but then he gave the puck away. And 3 Ducks come to center. Jackson in on the left wing with a drop pass. Lundestrom trying to get a shot away, and it was too well covered up. The puck goes back of the net. And now Matthews starts away. 6 forwards for the Leafs again. Here's Matthews to the line, in on the right side for Nyes. Nyes dropping it back for Marner. Marner fakes a pass, got it into the slot. Tavares to the right wing side, got a return pass, and then makes a bad pass. And out at center it comes as Marner was nowhere near getting that. Marner stretches things out. Nylander turns. Played through center to the line and in. Nylander left it there for Matthews, who flipped it into the left wing corner. Dumoulin played it ahead. Out come the Ducks again. Odd man rush. No, it's a one-on-one rush, but a long shot. Blockered. Rebound. Knocked to the side of the goal and trickled wide of the net. Domi made a good play to get it away from harm's way. Here's Max coming out at center. Second unit over the boards for the Maple Leafs. On the right wing side. Push back to the blue line. Ekman Larsson rings the boards to the far side to Morgan Riley. Riley back of the net for Domi. Domi holds. Back to the point. The penalty is over. A pass in front of the net. Just redirected off Riley wide. Puck to the blue line is pushed out at center, but turned over again. And now the Leafs with another rush, and it is Minton sending it into the offensive zone. Round on the boards to the far side, and it is the Ducks coming away with the puck.
Another baffling power play from the Leafs.
Jackson shoots it in. You understand the premise and everything else. You think that it should be fine, and yet it's just not clicking. Now the Leafs in with a rolling shot in on goal. Scooped aside by Dostal into the corner. 2-1 Toronto. And Anaheim come away with the loose puck. Leo Carlsson through center. Got it in over the line. Passing into the slot area. And Fabry couldn't get his stick on it. Leafs lose the puck at the side of the net. It comes in front, and Reeves is there to take it to safety, and then it is Lorenz flipping it in on the right side. Steven Lorenz forcing the puck back behind the net. Brian Dumoulin ran into traffic, and then Reeves ran into his man as it comes up on the left wing side, and Alex Killorn will get it down into the Toronto zone. McCabe back along the boards, played it back of the net. McCabe has it there again. Played off Marner's skate, and then a feed for Pontus Holmberg didn't connect. Matthews after it. Holmberg is able to steal it. Got it back in front of the net. A backhand by Matthews goes off the stick of Cam Fowler and up into the screen and out of play.
Ducks have a little jump in their step now, don't they? After the penalty kill.
You've never seen a duck. A duck doesn't have jump in its step. It waddles.
Well, how does it fly then?
With its wings, but it doesn't. It waddles when it's on the ground.
Would have to jump, though, to start flying.
Well, no, you waddle really fast. I think.
Can you fly?
No. Not on purpose. Riley centering pass, and the one-timer by Marner went off the blocking glove of Dostal. But your point is well made.
Whatever it was.
Yes, they're waddling quicker. Leafs able to keep the puck in with Matthews. Left wing corner. Dropped it back to the blue line. It comes over to Morgan Riley. Riley with a shot that went off a leg. Played out at center ice in a foot race here. Matthews trying to get position on his man. McTavish gets it down into the corner, and Matthews staple gunned him to the boards. Lead pass for Nylander, and it bounced away from him. Then it rolled in on goal as that Gudas made a kind of a half-hearted attempt to get it free. Now the back come the Ducks, and a long shot is swallowed up by Joseph Wall, who will stop play and send us to a commercial break. The Leafs maintain a 2-1 lead that they built in the first period. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive.
Well, you're going to be. Hey, Insiders, what's going on? It's time for us to do our Where Are You Watching From tonight, and hanging out with us. Allison is behind me. We're in Chicago. Where are you guys watching from? Thank you for hanging out with us and letting us know where you're watching the Leafs and the Ducks play on this great Thursday night. Now, let's get back to the chat. Go Leafs, go. And thank you for joining our awesome stream from all over the world.
Want to stay in its comforts a little bit longer? Lease the CR-V LX 2-wheel drive from $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,100 down. But hurry, Honda Stretch Lease offers end January 2nd. OAC conditions apply. Includes $1,500 lease bonus. See HondaOntario.com.
Buy gifts with MasterCard Click to Pay faster than your family can unwrap them. Get 4% CT money when you use your Triangle MasterCard on qualifying purchases at Canadian Tire, Sport Chek, and Marks. Conditions apply to collecting CT money. Visit Triangle.com for details.
Discover more value this holiday at Loblaws. Until December 18th, get PC or Butterball frozen turkeys for only $1.87 a pound. And get a 5-pound case of clementines at $4. Conditions apply. See flyer for details.
Leafs lead 2-1. No scoring thus far in the second period. Philip Myers scratched this evening along with Nick Robertson as healthy scratches. And all of that, well, with Jake McCabe coming back into the lineup. The draw to the left in the Toronto zone. Scrummed, but the Ducks play it around back of the net. McCabe unable to reach it. Puck comes back to the point, kept in there and fed in along the boards by Minchikov. And now the Leafs and Minchikov keeping it in again as it looked like the Leafs are going to get out. And then Tanev just lifts the puck to center ice. Ducks back in their own zone. Off the stick and into the Toronto end. Tanev against the boards for McCabe. Alley-oop through center. Nylander unable to reach it in time. Grabbed off again and fed back into the Toronto zone. McCabe tries it another time. Up ahead for Tavares this time. In across the line. Dropping for Nylander. Closing with a wrist shot that went high over top of the net. Tavares is able to keep the puck alive in the far corner. That draws a crowd. Has it in his skates. Pacioretty trying to help out. It comes back to the point. Kept in there by Benoit. Benoit to Nylander. Chipped along for Pacioretty. Pacioretty out of the corner. Works back towards the blue line. Just kept in. Puck comes free, and then Minton couldn't deliver a shot. Minton on the far half boards. into the corner for Nylander. Nylander looks in front, back to the point. Benoit fanned on the shot completely, and the Ducks get the puck to center ice and will slip it down into the Leaf end to afford a change of players. 12:25 to go, second period, still 2-1 Toronto. Yeah, a bit of a speed wobble there from Brian Dumoulin. And now Timmins launches it high into the zone. He looked a little awkward there, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like he was falling backwards down an escalator, didn't it?
Killorn skates to the line and in for Anaheim. Drops it off on the boards on a drop pass to Brett Leeson. Long shot went wide of the Leaf goal. Pushed out at center ice, but Fowler is there for Anaheim. Cam Fowler. Pass off a stick and into the Toronto end. Out of the net was Wall to scoop it around back of the goal. Then Wall and Riley got tangled up, and Riley went to the ice, but now here the Ducks keeping it in with a shot that's blocked in front of the net and quickly cleared by the Maple Leafs into neutral ice. Lacombe Jackson is there for Anaheim. To the line and in. Nice pass in now. Trying to go hard to the net was a good play by Robbie Fabry, but stopped by Wall. Ducks with the puck again, back to the net. Killorn couldn't get it free, and now Nyes does, and Leafs break it to center. Nyes looking for a shoot-in. Tried to get Riley on the wing, but it goes down into the zone. Nyes unable to reach it in time. And the Ducks play it off the stick and all the way back down on goaltender Joseph Wall. He gives the puck away, though. Here's a chance for Gauthier, and the shot deflects up into the screen. Out of play.
Boy, this game feels like we're on the verge of something happening, right? Either the Leafs are going to blow it open, or the Ducks are going to roar back and take the lead. This has not been a boring, uneventful second period.
17-16 the shots now favoring Toronto. 10:57 to go in the second stanza.
Will and Nylander's had the best opportunities for the Leafs here in the second.
I agree. Ducks scrum the draw. Reeves is able to get it out and get it down into Anaheim territory. He'll get to the puck first, playing it back towards the blue line, but it doesn't reach Tanev. Helping out was Dewar to keep it alive. Lorenz in the near corner. Steven Lorenz back to the point. Tanev a little fake, then got the wrist shot away, but it was blocked by the seat of the pants of one of the forwards for Anaheim. They'll bring it back the other way. McTavish gets it down into the Toronto end. McCabe pushing it up on the boards. Reeves with it there. Reeves to Tanev. Tanev will get to the red line, and he'll backhand down into the zone. And we got a whistle from the linesman here. I think we're going to face it off at center. Did it hit one of the Leaf players who had a foot inside the
going
bench?
off?
Yeah, I believe that's what it was.
Well, you just mentioned Mason McTavish. He had quite the 21-22 season. He played in the Swiss League in 2021, COVID year. Came back. He played for the Anaheim Ducks, San Diego Gulls, Peterborough Petes, Hamilton Bulldogs, as well as the 2022 Olympic team and World Junior team.
Boy, that's a lot of luggage stamps, eh?
Know.
Shot into the Anaheim zone. The Ducks are a very young team. A lot of players that maybe are getting the experience at the NHL level that they should be getting maybe at the American Hockey League level, but who's going to argue, right? Fowler centering pass off a skate. Leafs with the puck, getting it up on the wing for Pacioretty. Pacioretty to the right wing side. Gobbled up there by Timmins. Sent into the corner. Nylander strides in, but is late getting there. And now trying to get to the bench is Nylander as the puck comes back out into the center ice area. Brought right back in again by Edmonton. Into the slot with a shot. Oh, and a good glove save. Made there by Lucas Dostal as he snaps the leather out to thwart the youngster from Toronto, Fraser Minton. It is a 2-1 Toronto lead. All of it engineered in the first period. 9:17 to go in the second. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hi, it's Jimmy Fallon, and I'm hopping channel to channel, spreading Christmas joy all over SiriusXM. Here are a variety of holiday mixes handpicked.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The hockey fan watching the Ducks and the Leafs game. How you doing? Did you know that a group of Toronto sports fans, led by this guy and this kid over here, just poked his head out into the screen, started a chat, hanging out together, listening to every single Toronto Maple Leafs game, and we are on our way to 100,000 subscribers. Thank you all for hitting that subscribe button and turning on that bell and joining our awesome community of Leafs fans and Toronto sports fans. Now let's get back to the business. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat. Let's get that spamming going. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go.
SiriusXM 91 and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91 and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph. Cameron Moore is producing. Josh Lippa thinking that he's running the operation down here. And we've got Jag Kang pushing all of the buttons back at home. And a 2-1 Toronto lead. Jackson sends it down into the zone. Wall had to scoop that around quickly, but the Leafs get it out. Now Domi looks to make a pass in over the line, and it was knocked off of the stick of Pontus Holmberg. Domi couldn't knock it into the zone, though he tried with a baseball swing. Brought in now on the other side, and a wraparound attempt comes out in front, and it was deflected just wide of the net off the stick of Brock McGinn. At the point, kept in by Jackson. Back to the net to the far side. Holmberg dropping it off. Long lead pass looking for Domi, but it was in behind him and ends up going for icing, and it'll come all the way back into Toronto territory.
The Leafs have been able to win 60% of the face-offs, which has kept them out of a little bit of danger in their own zone so far. And right now, the leader in that is Auston Matthews, who's won 8 out of 12.
Minton will take this face-off against Leo Carlson. And the draw scrum, but the Leafs come away with it. Played off the boards for Pontus Holmberg. He's going to ice the puck again. It's one way of getting the rest.
It's also one way of testing the stats in the face-off circle. Win the draw, ice it, so you better win her again.
So Minton will be entrusted again. This time the face-off moves to the left wing circle. And Minton wins it cleanly. Leafs tie the puck up, but it comes free. Brought back by Leeson to the point. Tied up there by Minton on the boards. They battle for it. Trying to dump it in. Leo Carlson as it comes to the point. Now on the left wing side, Fowler. Fowler with a chance of centering pass. And in the slot, it was boomed over top of the Leaf goal. Round on the far side, Brian Dumoulin trying to keep it in. Knocked in along the boards. Ducks keep it in with a pass. It is going to be deflected out at center ice. Not sure if the Leafs will get many players exchanged. They'll get 2 anyway as it's down into the Toronto zone. Oliver Ekman-Larsson circles the goal, shields the puck nicely, plays it off the glass and gets it out at center, and Matthews sends it the rest of the way to get the remainder exchanged as the Leafs get their change completed. Matthews against the boards, came up with the loose puck, got it freed up for Marner. Marner couldn't get it in. Matthews tries it again. This time Nyes will send it around the boards. Marner on the near side, dropped it off, and then the centering pass for Marner went through his skates. Anaheim get the center, and Marner is back at his blue line. Marner with a pass up off the left wing, nicely deflected there by McCabe. McCabe gets into the corner, back of the net to the near point now for Marner. A shot in on goal. Nyes was there, but didn't make any kind of contact to redirect that. And Dostal had very little problem in taking that chest high and holds for a face-off. Leafs' next action is Saturday night in Detroit. as the Leafs will tangle with the Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena. And we'll have that action for you beginning at 7 o'clock. At the point of launch, shot scores! Connor Timmins! Was it redirected in front by Pacioretty? I think so. Max Pacioretty has his second goal of the game.
And the dominance in the face-off circle pays off for the Anaheim end. John Tavares wins it back to Connor Timmins. Max Pacioretty looks right at the point as he spins and squares himself up to Timmins. The shot is going far side, and this is deflected just enough to get it past the blocker, up and over the blocker.
Offside at the blue line as Tavares was breaking in.
Boy, Pacioretty is blessed, isn't he, with that hand-eye coordination for the redirections. But give Connor Timmins credit. Looked up, saw traffic in front, and right inside the Anaheim blue line, right wing boards. Looks up and just risks it into traffic, and the Leafs are up 3-1.
Played down into the Toronto zone. Wall almost got tangled up there with Timmins trying to make a play, but the Leafs get it out. Nylander sifting through center, now trying to explode in on the left wing. Stops it up, still with it, sends it around the boards. Comes back to the blue line, kept alive now for Tavares. Tavares works it back in front for Nylander, going to the net with a backhand. And on the short side, Dostal was able to get a arm in front, and the puck ends up in his glove, and he'll stop play. Tavares draws the other assist along with Timmins. Pacioretty with his second goal of the game, his fourth of the season. And he was a goal scorer wherever he's been. And you can just see the little things that he is able to do that somebody like a Nick Robertson can't do at this point in his career, right?
Yep, and given the opportunity to play with skilled players as well.
Leafs get a turnover in the center ice area, but they can't get it in deep. Matthews was blocked. The puck comes to the line and in. Now here's Strome trying to get a shot away. It comes free, and the shot is swallowed up. Knocked down, but a juicy rebound comes in front, and they score! Lacombe Jackson got a rebound in front of the net. I don't think it was touched. And his wrist shot from the top of the circles negates what had been a 2-goal lead. It's back to 1. And Joseph Woll gives up his first goal of the game.
He's one of those that's thrown to the front of the net, and the Leafs just can't get a stick on the bouncing puck. And Lacombe had stuck in from the point. I mean, this was just keep throwing it to the net, throw it to the net, and it was the third opportunity that finally gets through the maze and past Wall. And I believe it was Ryan Strome, Joe, was the one that sort of bunted it back into the high slot. But give the Ducks credit.
They're hanging around. Dumoulin playing it up on the boards on the left wing side. McGinn got it out at center. Reeves blocked it, and then it is rifled right back in by the Maple Leafs' Connor Dewar. Round back of the net. Dewar couldn't come up with it. A point shot comes into the slot area. They bang away at it as it comes to the point. Riley with a drive. That's blocked. Reeves gets it into the goal crease area as it's played into the corner. Chipped around back of the net. Reeves couldn't come up with it. And Dumoulin looking for an outlet pass. Has his stick shatter on him, and fortunately his defense partner is there to clear it out.
Boy, if there would have been an opportunity to challenge him on the forecheck, we should have the line change instead.
Yeah, the second period probably brought that about, right? Here's Domi in on the right, on the left wing, tries to center. That's knocked back into the slot area. Back at the point, it comes back to Max. Domi back to the point, and a shot in traffic, and it's gloved by Dostal and held. Face-off coming in the Anaheim zone to his right when we return from this commercial break. The Leafs 3, the Ducks 2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda CR-V was made for winter adventures. But with heated front seats, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a cozy interior, you may want to stay in its comforts a little bit longer.
Hey, insiders, what's going on? We've got the game in a good place. It's right there. It's right there for the taking. The Bloods just have to get that 2-goal lead. As soon as they get that 2-goal lead, I think we can put this baby to bed. Maybe. Knock on some wood. But I'm back at the headquarters. Thank you to Mike St. Jean, Lisa A. for your member chats. I'm throwing those up there because you guys are members, and I am so thankful for all of the insider and VIP members on this channel. As well, earlier, Jose Duarte's $20 super chat. Man, you rock. Jose, I can't thank you enough, man. And Brandy Gale with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Brandy. So awesome. Brandy said she got a Holy Mackinac shirt from Jelly as well. Brandy, thank you for the support to this channel and this amazing community. All right, and then I think I can put up the live chat, and it'll show. Yeah, see, it shows it shows it right here. Oh God, I'm moving all this stuff around. I don't know what I'm doing, but it shows the Jose Duarte and Brandy Gale. They're the super chats and the memberships, and Andrew Hurd with the gifted membership. Thank you, Andrew. I must have been driving and didn't see that one in the chat. So thank you so much for that. Let's get back to the second period, 4 minutes and 33 seconds to go. Go Leafs, go! We'll see you back in the chat.
Ryan Strome, Mississauga native, has got a couple of assists in front of family and friends. The draw in the Anaheim zone to the left of Lucas Dostal. And the draw scrummed. Ducks get it up on the left wing. Gauthier getting it out at center. Played in on the left wing now for McTavish. Mason McTavish into the corner, tying up his man, but it is Pacioretty getting it freed up, but then Lacombe Jackson was able to intercept and send it in. Now a centering pass, gobbled up in front of the net after a save made by Wall, and it's cleared down the ice. Goaltender plays it over for Gudas. Radko Gudas got it ahead. Fabry in across the line. Fabry dropping it off, and a wrist shot taken there, went high and wide by McTavish over top of the goal. Round on the boards near side. Fabry trying to center. Onto the right wing side, and a sharp angle shot rang off the goalpost and went wide. Rebound centered, intercepted by the Leafs, but not flipped out. Kept alive by Anaheim. On the right wing side, sent in by Fabry. Into the corner it goes. Dumoulin going wide, gets it back into the near corner for Terry. Terry back to the point. Over on the right wing side, a shot that was stopped by Wall. The puck still free, and the Leafs hemmed in here and getting tired. Dumoulin at the right point, walks the line, drops it off into the slot, looks for a return pass and gets it. Dumoulin on the far side with a shot, that deflected wide. Leafs don't get a handle on the puck. Kept alive here by Anaheim. Circling the net is Troy Terry with a shot. That was stopped, and fortunately, it went off Wall and ends up going into the screen and out of play. And the Leafs will get a much-needed change after being hemmed in their own end.
And the Leafs are starting to look nervous in their own end, aren't they? Standing around, not aggressive, way too much time and space given. As the Ducks try to even things up here. By the way, for Max Pacioretty, his last goal, he's got 2 tonight, but his last goal was October 21st in a home game against Tampa. You remember he scored the first goal of the year for the Leafs in New Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah. After the Leafs got shut out in Montreal in his return to Montreal. Domi carries to center and into the zone. A little flip pass in looking for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg carries out of the corner, back to the point it goes, and a wrist shot in traffic deflected away by Dostal. Centering pass by Domi didn't connect. Riley is able to chip it into the corner, and out of the reach there of Pontus Holmberg. Domi into the forecheck, and now Minton helps him out. Domi comes out of the corner with a pass for Holmberg. Back to the point, it'll come to the near side. Ekman Larsson trying to send it in and out of midair. Knocked down by Alex Killorn, and he's going to circle it out at center and flip it into the Toronto zone to allow a change for the Ducks. Brought on at center by the Leafs and head for Matthews. He'll snap it around the boards. Marner hoping it reaches him. He bodies the defender to try and keep it alive on the boards. It comes free in front. Nyes tried to cradle it on the backhand and go to his forehand, but by the time he did that, it was knocked off. Played towards the net. Wall trying to smother a puck at the side of the goal, and he is successful in doing so. And will hold for a face-off. Anthony Stolarz started the game, played the first period, but then they say tightness, some kind of tightness that developed through and we didn't really see an incident that would have caused it, but Joseph Woll came on to play in the second period.
Who by now, by the way, is after giving up that goal, is now the goalie of record.
Yeah. There's method to the madness, Mr. O. Played off the boards, knocked down by Matthews. He gets it to the side of the goal, but Gudas played it away. And a long lead pass. Here's a chance in across the line. Vetrano trying to send it to the near side, and Jackson had it deflect off his stick and go wide. Leafs with it in their own zone. Played back into the corner, back of the net, off the back of the goal. Marner had to steal it and then gets it back to McCabe. And McCabe with skating room to his liking on the left wing will get to center and shoot it in. Changes coming for the Maple Leafs wholesale as it's played ahead and now bought in over the line by Vetrano. Into the slot and a shot. Oh, and a good pad save made there by Wall. Leafs trying to chip it along at center ice. Unable to get it in is Tavares. It'll come to the near side to Nylander. Nylander sending it back in over the line, but well out of the reach of the Leaf forward. Now Nylander steals and works in. Darts in on the left wing and a goal! Well, he scored, but the puck went into the corner.
Boy, great burst of speed by Nylander. Picked up the puck middle of the ice at the blue line and burst around his man and then tried to cut back on the backhand. Boy, Cam Fowler, this would be close to a trip, even though Nylander might have stepped on his stick.
I don't know. He pushed that stick towards the feet, but no call. I thought
it might have been on his way down already.
All right. There you go, being on the side of the officials again. It's a broken record, I'll tell you, Mr. Rudd.
Well, that would make two of them, wouldn't it?
Pushed ahead for Tavares. He's to the line on the left wing. It goes to Pacioretty, back for Tavares. And it was deflected on goal, but Dostal got a pad in the way. Back of the net, Pacioretty trying to come out in front. Still with it, now sends it into the goal crease area. Nylander couldn't deliver. In front for Pacioretty, and a shot went off a leg and went wide. Tavares doing yeoman's work in the corner, but it comes up on the left wing. And the Ducks will get it out at center ice. McTavish to an open wing. Almost too many men on the ice there as they were in the midst of a change. But the Ducks send it in with now a dozen seconds left to go in the period. It was 2-1 at the end of the first. Teams have traded goals in the second. Long shoot-in will be cleared out and down the ice. And time will run out.
Well, thankfully for the Leafs, to this point, the Tavares line has been going. They were in on all three of the Toronto Maple Leaf goals, but the Anaheim Ducks, once it was 3-1, you thought, okay, now you got a little bit of breathing space, but within a minute, or I guess it was a minute 5 later?
Yep.
Ducks get back to within one, and Toronto Maple Leafs look nervous at times defending. So Anaheim's got a little bit of, what do we call it, jump?
They do indeed, and they have a 3-2 lead, the Leafs do, after 40 minutes of play. And we'll step aside and have Jim Taddy joining Anthony Stewart for our second period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
How about Josh Allen? He's amazing. Right now, he's the NFL MVP.
When it happens in the NFL, we're reacting to it on Sirius XM NFL Radio.
Pittsburgh Steelers are for real with Russell Wilson under center. He is red hot.
Get closer to the game with interviews with players, coaches, and executives.
Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy joining us.
We have a hell of a culture here, and it's something I'm very proud of.
From the field to the front office, nobody covers the game like Sirius XM NFL Radio. Channel 88.
Under review.
Avalanche goaltending sucks. There's no other way around it. They have the worst team save percentage.
All right, Veronica with the awesome emojis, the Canadian flags from Las Vegas, Nevada. I love it. There's Jeff. He's going to be back. Jeff Mitterling will be back. And when Jeff says he's going to be back, Jeff comes back. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. I need to go get myself a beer. I am done driving for the night, so it's time to go get that beer here. But it's also time to let that awesome, amazing promo run that my friend Leafs Jelly HD put together for us. Absolutely amazing working with Jelly over there on this video. I love this video. I might overplay it, but I don't care. There you go, Jason Parrish with the 100K plaque emoji. I love it. We're getting there, guys. It's coming. It's just a matter of time. It is coming. There's Lucius as well. Cheers. Cheers with my Popeyes cup. Yeah, time to go get that beer. All right. Time to play that video. Josh Wright, what's up there? And as well, Brad with the big cheers. Andrew Hurd, the cheers, the legend. I love it. And there you go. Gina, the GOAT. Is that okay? We'll go with the GOAT tonight for Gina. Spacky, what's up, Spacky? All right.
Radio, Sirius XM 91. And on.
We're not doing that one. Hold on.
They're going to the second round. Do you believe this? Holy Mackinac! Point taken. 2-0 Toronto. 2-on-1. Marner in over the line looking for Tavares. Mitchell Marner!
Now, thank you for finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Get him on his stick. Scores! Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Olsen Canadian Leafs Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
At the point of launch, and scores! Was it redirected in front by Pacioretty? I think so. Max Pacioretty has his second goal of the game.
3-1 at that point. 3-2, the Leafs lead over the Ducks after 40 minutes of play. TSN After 40 is brought to you by 241 Pizza. Give yourself a high five. Buy any large traditional pizza. Get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for $5 each. 241pizza.com is where you go for that deal. Jim Taddy and former NHLer, I was going to say former Leaf, former NHLer, Anthony Stewart. And it's 3-2 for the Leafs over the Ducks. My goodness, what are we watching here?
Yeah, it's a bit of I would say a barn burner, but again, I think for Toronto, they just have to find a way to manage that puck. It's almost like that annoying fly that is in your house, and it's just buzzing around. They won't go away, and you got to find a way just to get up and put it out of its misery right now. So, great job by the John Tavares line. They've been all over the puck, all over all three zones, all two periods so far. They just have to find a way to keep momentum. Once you get it, keep it, and just not, give Anaheim any life. And they're one of those teams. Yes, they're young. They're struggling right now in the standings. But if you give them an inch, they find a way to take a mile. So starting the periods, they're doing a pretty good job, but finishing is not that great. But a little bit better puck management. But again, another injury right now. We're not too sure the seriousness of Stolarz, who went down at the end of the period. Joseph Woll came in and did an admirable job making some big saves. So again, Craig Berube right now, I'm not too happy with the effort. But you're in point collection. season at this point of the year. They're within striking distance to get 2 points. They just have to find a way to bring it home.
So Stolar's a lower body injury that was diagnosed between periods, and Wall came out and played pretty well, I thought. When you were talking about the Tavares line, the 2 Pacioretty goals are the direct result of a face-off win.
Yes, and a great job by John Tavares, where, again, I don't think he gets enough credit, where he's just elevated his game this whole entire season too. But, Pacioretty has been a result of sticking to the system, and he's getting results and getting rewarded for it. He's going to the net. None of these goals are highlight reel goals. He's going to the net, stick on the ice, having a good, head on his shoulders, finding those open lanes. But that's a tough job doing it. This is the guy that scored many goals off the flank. He's really found a second life here in Toronto, and he's been a great signing so far. I
had some time to zero in on Fraser Minton in that period, and I'm not seeing any deficiencies. Are you?
He's a pro. He's a pro. And, he has some veteran line mates there. But he's outshining them. He's outshining them with just his poise with the puck. He's on the right side of the puck. He's winning his wall battles. He's getting through traffic, through the neutral zone. And he's just playing the game the right way. He looks very wise beyond his years. And he's a very smart player. As we see, he's a classically trained piano player as well. But if I'm Berube, I found a diamond in the rough here. You just have to find a way now to keep him in the lineup, because he's earning his keep and some more. And it's not about points. He's just doing those little details, and doing this at 21 years old. It's very impressive to see.
Does a lot of little things to keep the play going, defensively sound, and certainly a treat to watch. Anaheim's almost like they don't care about the scoreboard, right?
No, they're on the road, and they're almost playing with house money right now. And, they're in a building that's pretty loud, that's booing against them every time they have the opportunity. And they're just, chipping away at it. And, sometimes we don't have something to play for. It's, hey, you know what? Let's spoil Toronto's party. They're going pretty good here as of late, and they do have some superstars, and they're just finding a way to hang on. So if I'm Toronto, this first 5-7 minutes is key. Please. If I'm Craig Berube, this is what I'm saying to the group. You got to manage the puck. You got to simplify your game. And, the D, stay back, please, and thank you. Stop activating at this point. It's not about taking your foot off the gas. It's just playing those details and focus on those little details that have made you successful, this season.
Well, they're pesky. So the Leafs go up 2-0, and a minute and a half later it's 2-1. They go up 3-1, and a minute and 5 seconds later it's 3-2.
Yeah, so if I'm Berube, maybe I got to manage those lines a little bit better. Once we
call a timeout.
Call a timeout, and but again, maybe you have to double shift the line. Maybe you have to mix and match. And I'm sure he's going to do that. I'm sure he's thinking about it right now. I'm sure the coaches are sort of converging and talking about what they need to do. It's the third period, and it's a big 2 points. And you mentioned pesky. This team will not go away, so that's where these 7 minutes is very crucial. Manage the puck, get it below the dots, sustain pressure, try to get a little bit more volume of sustained pressure below the dots, and simplify.
Fourth line hasn't been out there much, about 6 minutes, but they have been noticeable, haven't they?
Yeah, I noticed, you saw Ryan Reeves in the slot just fan on a shot there. I believe that was in the second period too, but they're doing a good job cycling, getting it on the net. You saw Reeves challenge Gudas, and that sort of settled him down after the first period where he was running around a little bit too. But for me, I want to see a little bit more scoring chances from them. The third line, I think, has been good too. But that's sort of been the story. When a line is going, the other three sort of say, okay, you know what, tonight's not our night. You need 3 out of the 4 going consistently, and that's how you put these types of games away.
Can I say next goal wins?
Ooh, well, no. If Anaheim scores, it's a tie game, and then maybe we go over to overtime. But it's a big goal. If Anaheim gets this next goal, I could see them, carrying that momentum and getting these 2 points. So if I'm Toronto, it's not about going 1-3-1 or a 2-3 here. You just have to just play the right way. Play Craig Berube hockey, and like we said before, after the New Jersey game, it might take the last minute of the last period to be successful, but so far it's proven correct.
3-2, the Leafs lead the Ducks after 40 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
At last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Your holiday bonus awaits. Visit your local Subaru dealer for details.
From the biggest stadiums
for the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Lucius says the Leafs are due. Are we ready for the third period? I'm ready. I've got the MGD in hand, ready to go. And only reason I bought this because it was on sale. That's it. So, end of story. Don't have any Moosehead. Don't have any Canadian. Don't have any. God, I don't have a lot of beer. Peroni. You get anybody like Peroni, the Italian beer? Birra Moretti. I like that. Italian beer is very good. As well, Carlsberg, real good. I like that too. Anyways, enough about the beer. Cheers to all of you. Let's have a big third period. Go Leafs, go. All right. Northern Farm Girl blowing it up. Alexander and David Skal blowing it up as well. There's Spacky with the cheers as well. I love it. And there you go. The jersey. That's right. I got my Maddie jersey on from the Centennial Classic at BMO Field. I am a huge TFC fan, guys. Actually, I don't know if I can get it on here, but if you can see, that is a TFC logo right there. I am a diehard TFC fan. We're going to do TFC games next season. Anyways, third period. Let's go, Leafs. Who's getting the next goal? Throw some ideas in the chat, and I am going to put a poll up for the third period of who's going to get the next Leafs goal. Now, go Leafs, go. Cheers, everybody.
Let homelessness assumptions get in the way of homelessness solutions. Go to CanadaCanDoIt.ca. Help the Canadian Alliance to end homelessness.
10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides, we founded a sisterhood.
Crave presents the next groundbreaking original series from HBO, Dune Prophecy. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Tons of action. Kings and Devils 1-1 in the third period. Oilers 1-0 over the Wild. That's in the first period. In the second period, Chicago won. The Islanders won in the third. Flyers 1-0 over Detroit. End of the first, Jets 1-0 over the Golden Knights. End of the first, Blues and Sharks tied at 1. And after 20 minutes of play, Predators and Stars are scoreless. After 40 minutes, Jackets 1-0 over the Caps. After 2 periods of play, Penguins 3-2 over the Habs. Also after 2 periods of play, it is the Leafs 3-2 over the Ducks in our game, getting set to start at 10. Boston and Seattle at 10. Panthers in Vancouver. And getting set to start minutes from now, Utah and Colorado against the Avs, and the Lightning in Calgary against the Flames. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Smooth enough for the...
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, traveling to our home arena, Scotiabank Arena, tonight to take on the Leafs on a special Thursday night edition. Thank you all for hitting that like button. I know that you've already done it, or you're doing it right now, so thank you for hitting that like button and helping bring us more hockey fans here to our channel to hang out and have some fun together while we watch the Leafs beat up on the Mighty Ducks tonight. Let's take advantage of that overtime win and the bounce that comes with it, and let's get after it tonight. Thank you guys for hitting the like button and sharing this link out. We'll see you back in the chat.
Analysis on the air. The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Maple Leafs carry a 3-2 lead into the third period. John Tavares has recorded a couple of assists on goals by Max Pacioretty, who has scored twice. And Willie Nylander has the other Toronto goal. Jackson Lacombe, along with Vetrano, have scored for the Ducks. Shots on goal have favored Anaheim 24-23 after 2 periods of play. But the big story, I suppose, if there's a sidebar story to all of this, is the injury to Anthony Stolarz, who did not return to start the second period.
And the concern going forward is you've got back-to-back games on the weekend. Saturday in Detroit and then Sunday at home. What is it, a 5 o'clock start Sunday, is it not?
Yes.
So are you going to play Joseph Wall back-to-back in 22 hours between games?
Leafs fans, thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the
you would think that
Dennis Hildeby,
although the Marlies have had some great goaltending of their own down there as well, so we'll wait and see how all of that plays out and how serious the injury is to Stolarz. But I would think if he was unable to continue today, he's not going to be ready for the weekend. Richie Clune, the former Marley, is an assistant coach with the Ducks under head coach Greg Cronin. Leafs to the right and the Ducks to the left as we get set to start the third period.
By the way, 10 times the Ducks have trailed into the third period. Twice they've been able to come back and win.
Didn't do the face-off correctly. They'll try again. And we're ready to go. Puck is dropped. Third period underway. Chipped to the line by Nyes, but he didn't get it in deep. Marner turning the puck over and getting it back, and the Leafs have it in their own zone under control. Tanev, bank pass will come to center. Broken up there by Anaheim. Brought in on the wing by Troy Terry, trying to drop it into the slot. Good play by Matthews to intercept, but he couldn't get it out as Marner had it bounce over his stick. Tanev, little fake there and a pretty good one. And that allows Matthews to come to center and Marner as well. Marner in across the line. He's going to snap it in around the boards to the far side. Tavares fresh off the bench for Nyes. He'll play it around back of the net. Tavares couldn't get to it. Gudas got it up on the wing. Got a bump in there on Morgan Riley as they play it down into the far corner. Leafs come out of the scrum with it. Tavares turns, tried to flip it in front. Too well covered. Grabbed off by Pacioretty. He couldn't backhand it in deep. And Gudas has it in his own zone. Radko Gudas, 2,410 hits since coming into the league. That's a lot. Down into the corner, back of the net in the Leaf zone this time. Chipped along the boards. And Chris Tanev is right up there in that department. Here's Nylander flipping it into the Anaheim zone. Overskating it was Minton. Couldn't find a handle on it. And the Ducks, Fowler, getting it on the wing and deflecting it down into the Toronto zone. Around back of the goal, a long lead pass for Domi. Domi in on the left wing, took a shot, and it's into the glove and held by Lucas Dostal, and there'll be a face-off coming in the Anaheim zone to his right.
Anaheim 23 shots in the night already. They only average a little over 27 shots a game in the season. So I don't know whether you can be critical of the Leafs or admire Anaheim for back-to-back games and continuing to battle here.
Minton waved out of the face-off area. Domi wins it, and the Leafs have dominated that area. A shot wired by McCabe, goes off the goalpost. Round back of the net. One-handing it into the corner was Pontus Holmberg. Chip to the line, not out. Benoit keeping it in. Back of the net, Minton. Minton holds into the far corner. Domi sifting around in front of the net as it comes back to him now in the far corner. He'll get it back to the point, near side for Benoit. Shot off a leg, went wide. It comes to the side of the goal, and the goaltender poked it into the corner. Ducks get it freed up, and they get it out into center ice. Brought in over the line with a long shot that was wristed by Mason McTavish off a stick, and it's gone up into the screen, and there's some shoving going on in front of the Leaf goal. Nothing more developing. Face-off will come in the circle to the right of Joseph Woll.
Well, Cam Fowler, the longest-serving member of the Anaheim Ducks, 12th overall in the 2010 NHL entry draft. Every player taken before him, no longer with the team that drafted them.
Is that right? And there have been rumors that Fowler is on the trading block too.
Yeah, that's been a while, but I mean, that was a draft. Taylor Hall, Tyler Seguin, Eric Gudbranson.
Leafs get it out into the neutral zone. Lacombe plays it up on the wing, but the Leafs have it there with Ekman Larsson finding Lorenz. They'll regroup deeper in the Leaf zone. Lorenz gets the outlet pass, goes to the right wing side. In comes Oliver Ekman Larsson from a sharp angle. The shot went wide, and it's caromed off the corner boards and slid all the way back into the Toronto end. Morgan Riley hustles back and stops up behind his goal. Finds an outlet into the corner for Ekman Larsson. Through center, off the stick of Dewar and into the offensive zone. Fourth line out there for Toronto. Played up on the wing, and now here are the Ducks getting to center. Ow! That hit the linesman. It caroms into the Leaf end. He's not even going to rub it. Brought out at center ice and shot in. Tough play there by Brandon Grillo, the linesman. Far side, Tanev keeping it into the offensive zone for Matthews. Matthews into the slot area, nicely touched back to the point, and a whistling shot was blockered by Dostal into the near boards. Here's McCabe. He hit the goal post earlier in the period. Into the corner to Marner. Dropping it back for Matthews. Back of the net for Marner. Centered. Oh, and it went right by Nyes. Here's McCabe around back of the goal with it for Toronto. Looking back to the blue line. Over to the near side. It'll come to Marner. Marner with a shot in on goal stop. Matthews couldn't get the rebound. And it is punched out at center ice now by the Ducks. Marner bringing it right back in. Shovels it in wide of the goal. Anaheim into the near corner after the loose puck, and having difficulty is Brian Dumoulin. It comes free to Matthews, now to Nyes. Nyes coming to the front of the net, and it was off the stick of Dostal and out of harm's way, taken to safety by Troy Terry, who sends it down into the Toronto end. Pretty good shift by the Leafs' number one line there. Couple of decent scoring opportunities. Benoit and Timmins get it ahead for Tavares. Tavares has it go in off a stick, and now it goes right to Nylander. Nylander in! Oh, and he went for the top shelf and just missed. Back come the Ducks. Left wing side, off a stick, turnover, has Pacioretty moving. Ahead for Willie. Oh, and he had it roll off his stick, and the goaltender is able to play it into the near board. Centering pass, and Pacioretty just missed his hat trick. It comes back to the blue line. Far side now for Ekman Larsson. Trying to play it along the boards. That is pushed out at center ice, and Oliver Ekman Larsson goes back to it. Brought back in on a drop pass by Tavares to Nylander. Shooting, rebound in front, Tavares banging away. And Lucas Dostal is down to cover up. Two great shifts by the Leafs' first two lines.
And doing a little better job, Joe, of just getting the puck to the net instead of trying to get fancy with the setups. And here it's Willie Nylander with John Tavares in front of the net. Nylander in the high slot will just load up and snap it. In the middle of the ice, Dostal made the first save and then was able to hold on to the rebound before Tavares could kick it past him.
14:46 to play in the period. Leafs with a one-goal lead. Draw clipped out at center ice, cleared back to the line. Pontus Holmberg after it. Knocked it into the corner against Gudas. It goes to an open corner. Down the boards came Timmins, who got knocked down. Domi trying to knock the puck into the corner and played it around into the near corner. Pontus Holmberg after it there. Now he was knocked down. Minton tries to help out. Kept in at the blue line momentarily. Domi is able to keep it in firmly and play it back of the net. Round the boards, it'll go to the left wing side. Out come the Ducks to center ice, and Domi's back checking, does a nice job there, but it's brought in over the line. Gauthier sends it into the side, and now Minton is there to take it to safety, and it'll be brought on now by Benoit, who drops it back for Connor Timmins. Leafs are changing. Timmins got it ahead. Benoit waiting for troops to arrive, sends it in deep. Marner couldn't come up with it as it's played around the boards, and Matthews is there. Around to the near side for Marner. Little touch pass to Nyes. Nyes carries back of the net, puts the brakes on. Thought about coming out in front, but had it knocked off his stick back into the near corner. Puck is still free along the boards. Blocked there by McCabe. Could have been a glove pass, but then was stopped. And Nyes with a wrist shot was easily handled by the pad of Dostal, and now brought to center ice by Anaheim. Ducks have it knocked off their stick and back into Anaheim territory. Settling it down is Brock McGinn. Trouba up on the left wing, deflected down by McGinn into the Toronto end. Leafs around back of the net, off a stick to Pacioretty. Can't get it out past the pinching defenseman Trouba. Into the far corner now for Ekman Larsson after a loose puck. That is poked to the line but not out. Kept alive now by the Ducks into the far corner. Harkins trying to dig it free, but the Leafs get it off on the wing, and Pacioretty is away. He gets a return pass and in with a shot. Oh, and he just missed on the short side. Kept alive by Nylander, who centers, and then Tavares chipped it just wide. A broken stick gets in the way of the puck, but it is Tavares around back of the net into the corner for Pacioretty. Pacioretty centers, and Nylander couldn't get a shot directed at the goal as the Ducks get it to center, and now trying to make a play to get in over the line and failing to do so. They'll finally come away with it. Gudas in on the right side, and a shot just fired wide. Rebound Caribs all the way to center ice.
Boy, Leafs got caught in a line change there. And only one guy on the left wing side of the ice.
Reeves creating a disturbance, and as a pass in front of the net from Lorenz was out of the reach of Connor Dewar, and the Ducks will get it out at center. Troy Terry carries down into the zone, broken up at the Leaf defense. Leafs get it up on the left wing, pushing it out into the center ice zone is McCabe. Shot right back in again, out of the net wall to slow it up. McCabe ran into his man, and the puck comes free, and Lorenz gets it out at center ice, and Domi is going to snap it into the zone. Goaltender Dostal out of the net. Plays back of the goal and onto the near boards now for Brian Dumoulin. And Dumoulin starts out of his own zone. Wristed back down into the Toronto end. Holmberg, back of the net. Far corner, onto Domi. Up ahead at center for Minton. Minton couldn't get into the zone. And the Ducks will send it back now as they counterattack in across the line with a backhand that is easily caught off the stick of Mason McTavish to stop play in the Toronto zone with 10:58 to play in the third. Leafs nursing a 3-2 lead on the Anaheim Ducks, trying to win for the 13th time on home ice and the 18th time this season. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Sports Grid Radio on Sirius XM has you.
Well, you're going to be. Hey, Insiders, what's going on? It's time for us to do our Where Are You Watching From tonight, and hanging out with us. Allison is behind me. We're in Chicago. Where are you guys watching from? Thank you for hanging out with us and letting us know where you're watching the Leafs and the Ducks play on this great Thursday night. Now, let's get back to the chat. Go Leafs, go. And thank you for joining our awesome stream from all over the world.
McDavid scores!
tuned to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders,
the revenues and the big business,
and the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on demand with the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter!
Haaland scores the hat-trick.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Face off in the Toronto zone. The Leafs 3 and the Ducks 2.
Really hoping after the nail biter in New Jersey that this would be a little more comfortable at this point, wouldn't you?
They're learning to play in tight games. And the only way you can learn to play in tight games is to have them.
I'm throwing an occasional 5-6-1 win, though, couldn't you?
Well, I suppose. Brought on by Marner through center. He hits the line, works to the right wing side, stops up at the half boards, gets it back to the point, and a slap shot blocked that goes right to McCabe. One of the Ducks broke his stick in the block. The puck comes down low, and a shot by Matthews. Trying to go top shelf, but he couldn't get Dostal to go down. Now Matthews trying to center, but too well covered. Played around the boards, and pinching down there is Tanev to keep it alive. Dumoulin tries the other side, and the Ducks have a little bit of room, but will misfire on a pass, and as it goes down, it went off a Leaf player, so there's no icing. Chris Tanev brings to center. He'll flip into the right wing corner. Nylander sliding in there after it. Got Tavares to knock it up on the far boards, but Lundestrom was there for Anaheim, and he's going to circle the goal and start out of his own end. Isaac Lundestrom in on the left wing. Had it knocked off his stick, but he regains it. But by the time he regained it, he had put himself offside because of the check at the blue line. And that stops play with 9:46 to go in the third period. The Leafs 3, the Ducks 2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Subaru winter has arrived.
Cheers, Insiders! Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. The Leafs and the Ducks. Thursday night, it's going to be a great matchup. We've got a bunch of competition running streams tonight. And I just wanted to stop in here and say thank you for making this the best place to watch the Leafs on YouTube and on the internet with this amazing group of people. We've got Stefan, Mr. Roboto, and Wilf in the chat right now, just going back and forth. The OGs of the channel, the bees in the house. Good to see you, gentlemen. And thank you all for making this community what it is. Now let's get back to the chat. Let's cheers it up. Let's cheer on our Maple Leafs, and we'll see you back in there.
Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Discover more value this holiday at Loblaws. Until December 18th, get PC or Butterball frozen turkeys for only $1.87 a pound. And get a 5-pound case of clementines at $4. Conditions apply. See flyer for details.
The holiday big check event is on now at Sport Check. From December 12th to 24th, shop savings up to 60% off. Find amazing deals on top brands such as Nike, Under Armour, Oakley, Columbia, and more. Say it with sport this holiday season.
Leafs 3 and the Ducks 2. 9:46 to play in the third period. And the Tavares, Nylander, and Pacioretty line has been the best the Leafs have put on the ice.
Hold up real quick before the game starts again. Toronto Maple Leafs, loyal, true Canadian heart. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Let's go. Third period. Let's go. Finish strong, buds. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Anaheim territory. The puck bounds up on the boards, and it is pushed out at center ice, and Trouba gets it in over the line. Up against the wall now, Pacioretty trying to pry it free, and he has a lead pass. Brings Nylander in on the right side, and a glove save made by Lukas Dostal.
You gotta love the way Dostal plays, don't you? Comes out, challenges. A lot of confidence in that glove hand, too.
You know, and you have to love Nylander. His anticipation of turnovers is unbelievable. And now Matthews getting it up on the wing for Marner. Marner walks the line, works into the slot area, saucered it in! Nye's got a piece of it, but Dostal got his glove on it. And Lukas Dostal is keeping the Ducks in the game here. 33 shots for the Maple Leafs now, 24 for the Anaheim Ducks, which means they've had just one in this third period. That's my advanced mathematics, Mr. Ralph, because they had 23 after 2 periods.
Well, you're forgetting the X factor, which is they keep readjusting the shot totals during the game.
Yeah, but I was pretty proud of myself.
No,
you know, I didn't even have to take my shoes off or nothing. Icing call here against Anaheim. And it'll come back with a face-off coming in the circle to the right of Lukas Dostal.
His career average against the Leafs is 5.92. He's played in a couple of blowouts, but we remember that game last January where he was fantastic against the Leafs before losing 2-1 in overtime.
Which leads you then to ask, wonder what the numbers would be if he didn't have that game in it. But he's played well here tonight, no question about it.
The Leafs shelled them, I think, for 9 last year here in Toronto.
Kicked around back of the net, far side by the Leafs, but the puck comes free, and a pass right in front of the goal! Down his wall! Oh boy, he hasn't had much to do, but he just made the save of the game right there. He had to stretch out on that right pad and then get a glove on the ensuing rebound. But what a save he makes here to keep the score 3-2 Toronto.
And that was Alex Killorn that had come out of the corner ahead of Morgan Riley and took the cross-ice pass. So Wall is moving to his left. Killorn gets it and goes back to the right. And that's when Wall is able to stretch that right pad and right leg flat onto the ice towards the far post and keep it out from Killorn, who was trying to tuck it around him.
Benoit getting it up for Lorenz on the right wing boards, but he was double teamed there as the Ducks press to keep the puck in and alive. Back into the corner again, now back of the net. Centering pass, good paddle down play made by Wall to redirect the pass, and the Leafs' fourth line gets it down into the offensive zone. Reeves into the zone, got a hit in against the boards. The puck comes up on the right side, and they'll get it out at center, but Reeves is there to secure it and send it back to his defense. Timmins on to Benoit, ahead for Ryan Reeves. Reeves chips in, strides in there, trying to get a hit in on Cam Fowler. The puck goes free into the left wing corner, and the Ducks will get it up on the wing and now send it back to Fowler, who will get it ahead at center. Anaheim in on the right side. Lundestrom sent it into the corner. Tanev was able to block that. Chipped along the boards, but not out. Tanev gets another opportunity, and now McCabe gets it out at center ice for him as the Ducks go back into their own zone. Trouba. Long lead pass, broken up by Tanev on the right side. McCabe slides in there to free it up. Got it up on the wing for Domi. Domi gets it out. A foot race here, but Pontus Holmberg isn't going to win it. Trouba gets it back at center, and the Ducks get it into the Leaf end. Jensen Harkins against the boards. Played down in along the wall. Gobbled up by Toronto. Fed around for Nylander. Couldn't chip it by the pinching defense, though. Ducks keep it in at the point. Gudas sends it in around back of the net. Ekman Larsson ties his man up. Gudas trying to pinch to keep it in, but it is knocked free. Played in front of the goal, and a shot blocked in front of the net there by Morgan Riley. Ducks trying to work now with 6:17 to play in the period. Back to Gudas at the point. He goes D to D. Lacombe trying to play it in around back of the net. Near corner for Vetrano. Into the slot area, back to Vetrano. Vetrano working wide. Still with it. Leafs in a scramble mode, and down is Wall. And he's got the puck underneath him somewhere. If he'll just kind of edge his body out over that goal line. Oh, there it is there. All good. Face-off coming in the Toronto zone. 5:59 to play in the third, and the Ducks trying to press the attack here. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The 125th Army-Navy game is on Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84. This is Mike Krzyzewski, West Point class of 1969. It's bigger than a game. It's a celebration of our history. It's a reminder of what makes this country great. Channel 84's on-site coverage.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The hockey fan watching the Ducks and the Leafs game. How you doing? Did you know that a group of Toronto sports fans, led by this guy and this kid over here, just poked his head out into the screen, started a chat, hanging out together, listening to every single Toronto Maple Leafs game, and we are on our way to 100,000 subscribers. Thank you all for hitting that subscribe button and turning on that bell and joining our awesome community of Leafs fans and Toronto sports fans. Now let's get back to the business. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat. Let's get that spamming going. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like, it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Face-off to the right of Joseph Wall, who has stood tall here in protecting a 3-2 Toronto lead. Puck against the boards. Marner had it in his skates. It comes back to the point. Kept in by Cam Fowler, who walks the line. Dished off on the wing. Shot blocked. It goes high in the air to the near side. And the Leafs trying to get it out. Fail, but it goes back to the defenseman Tanev. And he's going to get it airmailed into the center ice area. Matthews gobbles up a loose puck. He had a man going to the front of the net. He gives it off to Marner. Back to Matthews and a shot. And he whistled that one off a leg and it went into the corner. Played high to center ice. Fowler gets it down into the Toronto zone. McCabe freed the puck up nicely for Tanev. Tanev works slowly to the blue line. Just flipped it out. Grabbed off again by Anaheim. Both teams trying to get a change going. Played up on the right wing side. Fabry will get it into the Leaf end. Played around back of the net. Domi after the loose puck. Punches it along the boards, and the Leafs are going to get it out. And Fraser Minten works to the line and in. Minten with a shot was just wide. Back of the net goes Pontus Holmberg. He is taken to the boards. Has it in his skates. Got it freed up for Minten. Minten looks in front. Pontus Holmberg comes wide. Back to the point it goes. Into the corner to Domi. Domi poking it along for Holmberg. Holmberg goes around back of the net. Pontus Holmberg dropping it back to the blue line. Back along the boards and back of the goal for Max Domi. Domi against the boards for Fraser Minten. Minten trying to drag it along. Poked it back towards the blue line. Got it back again. Minten gets it in front for Holmberg. Now to Domi, who centers, and that was knocked away. Cleared out and down the ice, but icing waved off from the linesman. 4:13 to go, but a good shift there by Minten, Holmberg, and Domi.
The fourth line has had some pretty good moments in the game as well, Joe. They've spent far more time in the offensive zone than hemmed into their own.
Rattled around the boards and out into the center ice area for Anaheim. Left wing feed for Lacombe. Long shot off the pad of Wall, and the Leafs are going to play it out into the center ice area, but out of the reach of Tavares. Played back into neutral ice. Tanev pushing it to the blue line. Nylander is able to get it in and roll it into the corner and head to the bench. 3:35 left to play in the third. 3-2 Toronto. Gudas getting a little of the boo treatment and not go into the bench area. I thought Gudas has it again. And now here's the Ducks getting it in over the line. Left wing side for Killorn. Played around back of the net. Now off a stick, it comes to the point. Kept in by Cam Fowler off his shin pad. And he has to go all the way back into his own zone, and Nyes is in pursuit. Fowler has to pull the brakes on to elude the forechecking and aggressive forechecking of Nyes. Puck now to the Toronto zone. Ekman Larson finds Morgan Riley in the near corner and quickly ahead off Domi, sticking into the offensive zone. Holmberg into the corner. Domi unable to trap it, and out come the Ducks again. Lacombe to the line. To the line and in on a delayed offside. Leafs have it in their own zone. Max Domi holding the puck off there with a long lead pass that is deflected into the offensive end of the rink by Pontus Holmberg. 2:24 to go. Ducks to center. We'll keep an eye on Lucas Dostal for you. Back of the net is Tanev to get it out. And going back to retrieve it now is Cam Fowler. Fowler up on the right side. Troy Terry shoots it in. Round on the boards, Nylander got it freed up, and out comes Tavares on the right wing. A pass on the left side for Pacioretty. He'll flip it in wide of the goal. Tavares got to it first. Tavares stick handling to the near half board, still with it. Rings the boards to find Pacioretty alone on the far half wall. Pacioretty holds, then took a shot that deflected into the corner. Tavares centers, coming to the net is Nylander, and trying to go to the top corner, lofted it over the net. How did that not end up in the screen?
Well, there was a delay. That must have gone straight up in the air.
I think, yeah.
But Dostal really sealed off the short side. I don't know if there was any room for Nylander there.
Minute and a half to go. Goaltender edging out, then decides better of it because the puck has come out at center ice. Ducks trying to backhand it in over the line. Leafs against the boards now, just want to get it out. They'll go D to D. They keep the goaltender in, and it's played out at center ice by Tanev. Now brought to the line, but not in. And the goaltender's still in the net. Minute 4 to go. Long shooting goes high over top of the Leaf goal. There he goes to the net. 6 attackers on the ice now for Anaheim. Tanev trying to get it out. Got it to Matthews. To Marner. Marner's backhand blocked. Kept in at the point. Carlson lost it. Marner stick handling out. He's at center ice with the empty net. Plays it in. Oh, and it went wide to the far post. Nice after it in the corner. It comes up on the wing with 34 seconds, and out come the Ducks once more. Terry hits the Leaf line with a shot, and Wall smothered that, and for just a split second, he thought, if I put this down and I get aim at that net, I could get my first NHL goal. And fortunately, that evaporated very quickly.
Well, if that was the thought process, it's the only person other than I that could make a dumber decision in a split second.
Would have been Joseph Wall.
Yeah, he would have broke my personal record for split second idiot moves, and this game could have been salted away. But it looked like Mitch Marner, Joe, was sort of in between. Do I get it to the net, or do I try to just saucer it so Matthew Nyes could skate into it?
Well, the one thing that he did do was get it to center ice.
Yeah.
Because he had it on his forehand around the Toronto blue line, and would have had probably a better look at scoring into the empty net at that point.
But he's a right-handed shot down the left wing side, so knew there was pressure coming. And just as he got it to about the Anaheim blue line, just kind of tried to nudge it towards the empty cage. But I think part of that was maybe to have Matthew Nyes catch it first and knock it in. And both John Tavares and Auston Matthews out here. And it looks like Matthews is going to take the draw.
Face off in the circle to the left. And the draw scrum, but won by Anaheim. Back to the point. Lacombe on the right wing side, a shot. Big save made there by Wall. on a one-timer on the near side. As Vetrano let that go. 14 seconds left. The Leafs are pinning it up against the wall in the near corner. Good job by McCabe. It comes back on the board. Stolen by the Leafs. Out at center, and a shot to the empty net goes wide by Marner.
And it's icing.
And it's icing with 0.6 of a second left in the game.
And they're going to take a look at that. And I'm sure for Mitch Marner, he's thinking that's twice. First time they missed the empty net. And now, even though it's less than a second on the clock, if you just dump that off the right wing boards, the game is over.
Matthews will take the face off. And everybody just getting prepared to block a shot in case they got to have somebody behind him. Now they finally do. Here, Strome looking for the quick draw, but it doesn't happen. And in relief, Joseph Wall will pick up his 8th win of the season and go 7-1 in his last 8. And the Maple Leafs will hang on to a 3-2 victory in a, for the lack of better term, a workman-like performance.
Yeah, I think you would have liked it to be a little comfortable down the stretch in the third period. Leafs go up to make it 3-1 in the second. Ducks come back about a minute later to make it 3-2, and give Anaheim credit. Second of back-to-backs, 3 games in 4 nights. They were shellacked last night in Ottawa. And, once it was 3-1, you could easily see them sort of pack the tent and say, all right, we'll go get them in a couple of days when we're back out here. But they battled back and made a game of it. So I'm sure there's a lot of positives on the side for Greg Cronin.
Well, the other positive is the Leafs defense and forwards allowed just 5 shots on goal in the third period. So the whole idea of this year, play better defensively, block shots, get good goaltending, and more you see this trend developing of being able to do just that.
Yeah, what they haven't been able to do is find the balance of last year's offense with the newfound defense. And a lot of it is the power play. But we see they just haven't been able to go into games and handle a team 5-1, 6-1 on a consistent basis. And I think that balance, there's going to be a struggle finding that most of the season. I know we've brought it up before when the Florida Panthers under Paul Maurice, they went from the highest scoring team in the league the year before to now we've got to play different, and it was a struggle for them. But the end result was back-to-back trips to the Stanley Cup Finals.
And the end result is if you don't give up a lot, you don't have to score a lot. Well, tonight was a perfect example of that as the Leafs win it by a score of 3-2. Max Pacioretty has a big night. He has a pair of goals and an assist as the game's #1 star. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Fantasy Football Playoffs are here, and you need Fantasy Sports Radio now more than ever. After a
All right, Insiders. Roboto, what's up, man? This is for you. I got the wrench for the Mr. Roboto in the house. The Leafs get it done. We get the victory. Yes. 3-2. I'll take it. 2 points is 2 points. Thank you all in the chat. Stefan, cheers, man. Cheers to Brandy, cheers. Super fun night. I love it. Mr. Hockey, go Leafs, go. Good night. Thanks for stopping by the Raptors Live, Mr. Hockey. I saw you in there. God, it's hard running 2 lives. But anyways, this is what the future will be. Being able to be here and be in these chats and hanging out with you guys. Thanks to my amazing wife, TSI Allison. Babe, I love you so much. Thank you. I got to go pick up Bella. Or are you going? I don't know. We'll figure that out in a minute once the post-game runs. You know how I do here on TSI. We run the post-game every single game through its entirety, unless the radio feed cuts off. If that happens, then that's it. I'm picking up Bella. Awesome. Look at that. Can you guys please give a big thank you to TSI Allison for being the best wife in the world. She is so awesome. I love her so much. All right, I'm going to stop with that. And cheers to everybody. There's Edson in Brazil. What's up, Edson? How you doing? Hey, good night, Veronica. Thank you for hanging out with us. So much fun having you back here in the chat, Miss V. There you go, David Chimenti. Thank you, Allison. You are the best. I love it. Thank you, David. Much appreciated. There's Spacky giving Allison some love. Richard Fewer as well. Mad Max. I love it. Thank you. Brenda J. Roll. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Leafs are back on the ice. What is it? Saturday? Is it Saturday night or Sunday night? I think they play both nights, don't they? They might. I got to look at the upcoming schedule here. I can't even remember, but I got to check on that Raptors Live as well. So I will let the post game run. I will look for Jelly's highlights and hopefully get a video, his link up real quick. But also, please go check out a good friend of the show, David Kaplan's The Recap. All right, I'm going to put a video up from last night's game when I was out there, or it wasn't last night, but a couple nights ago when I was out at Hooters. Go Leafs, go. What a win tonight. We'll take it. 2 points.
Review and helping the officials on the ice.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius.
Cheers, Insiders. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I got a good special friend of the show, David Kaplan of The Recap. We're going to send you guys over to his show that just wrapped up. Dave, say hi to the Insiders.
Hello, everybody. How are you? And by the way, the Cubs would like Vladimir Guerrero to be dropped off here in Chicago. Take that.
How did I know you were going to say that? Pleasure, man.
And goes 7-1 in his last 8. And the Maple Leafs will hang on to a 3-2 victory in a, for the lack of better term, a workman-like performance.
Working class it was. 3-2 the Leafs over the Ducks. Welcome to Leafs Game Night, the post-game show. Live from Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy, Anthony Stewart, and Jimmy Ralph kind enough to hang around. And Ralphie, I mean, it's like a lot of other games. They find a way. No style points, but they find a way.
Yeah, and then Joe and I were talking near the end of the broadcast. They haven't found the balance yet.
Yeah.
And it might take a while. You know, if you could combine the most recent year's offense and power play with the defense that we're seeing now. But thankfully, the second line was the line that got on the board. And I don't know, Stu, if you would agree with this. I thought the third and fourth lines were probably as good tonight as we've seen them in a long time, whereas it seemed the majority of the time they were playing in the offensive zone.
Yeah, I noticed the fourth line, especially in that third period, really sustained pressure down low, and sometimes you get caught in just that vortex of going up and down, getting off, but they were actually noticeable. Some big hits by Ryan Reeves. He made a couple big opportunities to score as well, too, but I was most impressed by Fraser Minton and the game that he has, the poise, coming on top of the puck, always stick in the right place, getting pucks deep, winning them off the wall, just those little fundamentals that he does so well, and I'm impressed that he's doing it in his first year pro.
Pretty good shot, too. When you can tell in the building a guy gets the shot away quickly and how it looks from up here, like it's a little dart, and he had a great opportunity in the first period, missed the net, and had one in the third where you're going, boy, it's like the release is pretty admirable.
You want to see more of him. I mean, he's really showing a lot, but you actually still want to see more, don't you?
Yeah, and eventually maybe an expanded role, but I think, usually when a young player comes into the league, the first thing coaches are going to harp on is defensive play. Don't hurt us in our own end. Make sure puck's out, puck's in, keep the game simple, but you see with every game with Fraser Minton, there's more there. And it's a matter, and let's not forget, he missed training camp and first month or so of the season before getting into some games with the Marlies. So he's only going to get better as the season goes on.
Yeah, 2 goals and 3 points for Max Pacioretty right now. And, I think for him, he just personifies Craig Berube hockey, where it's not fancy goals, just going to the net. He's throwing big hits. He's a byproduct of this Berube system, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's got the great hand-eye too, right? And it's really is the perfect complement. And I like it better than eyes with Marner and Matthews. I think there is some chemistry there between the three of them. And even though I know that's not the way they started in New Jersey a couple of games ago, but now they flipped it back, and I think Pacioretty just seems like a great fit with Tavares and Nylander. And a big part of that is, like we see with Matthew Nyes, the success you can have just going to the net. But that deflection, that's a guy that's got some skill. Great hand-eye coordination for Pacioretty's second goal of the game. Just a wrist shot from Timmins from the point. And you just see, it's just a little flick. It's like the Zorro, sword.
Oh, look at that mark.
Yeah. It's just like that little, or what was the guy's name? Dr. Hook and Slapshot?
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Irma Crack.
Yeah. So
sad that we remember that.
Anyway, it was, that was a wily veteran play. That's the guy that's got the great hand-eye coordination to be able to pull that off.
I loved Nylander's game because he was pretty well blank in New Jersey, but he had 7 shots go through another 5 attempts, and he was a going concern tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah, but you know what? Whether you become a little critical on the Leafs I think the other side is you got to give Anaheim a lot of credit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they play last night. They take one on the chin. They lose 5-1. They're down 1-0 early here, and you're thinking, what a perfect time to say, oh, well, you know what? It's just not our night. And they hung around. And I thought what the Leafs were guilty of at times were playing nervous in their own end. When it was a 1-goal game, they weren't aggressive. They sort of sat back as if, oh, no, we can't blow a 2-goal lead or we can't blow a 1-goal lead in our building to Anaheim. And I think you give. All
right. Time out for the post game for a second. I just put the chat out. Jelly's highlights are already up, so time it. I saw a notification here maybe a minute ago. So a minute going back to when this game ended. Jelly's highlights are up. Sportsnet, are theirs up? No. NHL? No. No other highlights of this game are up, and he's got the best radio call, the best call. Forget the TV highlights with the announcers there. Joe Bowen, the best in the history of hockey, period. I in my opinion. I know there's been some great voices in hockey, but Joe, the best. And Jelly, keep it up, man. Great work. Back to the post game. Richard Fewer, good to see you, man. Thank you, Richard. You rock.
For Tavares, it was I just have to worry about my own game. I don't have to answer for everybody else. I mean, he's still considered one of the leaders on the team. When he's interviewed after, he still handles himself like he's the captain of this team. And yet you can see there's a lightness about him, and I think that translates from interview scrums after the game and after practice to what we're seeing on the ice that Stewie was just talking about.
Wall really played well. Came in the start of the second period. Any idea what Stolar's lower body? But what does that mean?
I think they said lower body. I think the big concern right now is you've got back-to-back games coming up on the weekend, and with the Sunday game. So you get 7:00 Saturday in Detroit. Sunday game against Buffalo's at 5. So I think you're not going to want to play your goaltender back-to-back nights on 22 hours rest. Or it's going to be less than that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 24 hours if Dennis Hildeby gets brought up and may get his third start in the NHL.
Is it him or is it Matt Murray? What do you think? Does Matt Murray have waivers?
Well,
no.
Well, it'd be an emergency thing.
Yeah. That would be interesting. Yeah, it might be Matt Murray ahead of him, but that would be an interesting choice. I mean, one of the things, Joseph Wall was hurt to start the season, and Stolar's had a great run at the beginning. But that's one thing where the Leafs have been very fortunate this year, is their two most important guys, for the most part, since Wall's come back, have been healthy. So hopefully with Stolar's, it was nothing that took him out of the game after whatever the play was.
Yeah.
So I think that's a positive. And one thing we've seen with the Leafs this year, with any kind of injury, that they don't screw around with it. It's December. You don't have to go in and play hurt or play tough. You might be expecting that from guys in April, but I think right now everything's precautionary.
Ralphie, thanks for hanging around. Appreciate it.
I'll text you when I'm home.
Okay, good. Yeah, good. That'll alleviate a lot of stress.
And by the way, Stewie was nice enough to put up his hockey DB pictures. on my.
little prank there, eh?
Stewie, wait till you see the pictures you're going to see next.
I opened up a can of worms. Eh?
You did.
I will say this. Years ago, the O-Dog pulled the all-time best. I had that messenger thing open on my laptop, and my daughter texted me. Richard Hadfield was here, and she was talking about how what a hero he was and how she'd love to meet him one day. And I come back and read this whole text chat stream. And O-Dog's texting my daughter back saying the guy's a total douche. He's an idiot. And my daughter's saying, I never know when you're being serious or not. And that's so disappointing. So Stewie's got a way to go to beat O-Dog with the computers.
I'm locking my computer now.
He did open the door, and there will be retaliation. And up in the booth, we don't call retaliation.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Yes. Yeah. Ducks lose 3-2 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Discover more value this holiday at Loblaws. Until December 18th, get PC or Butterball frozen turkeys for only $1.87 a pound. And get a 5-pound case of clementines at $4. Conditions apply. See flyer for details.
McDavid, Stützle, Matthews, Crosby, Forsberg, Bedard.
This kid is out of this world.
Who will be next?
Can you believe it?
Hockey history begins at the World Juniors. Boxing Day on TSN.
What the flock?
Excuse me?
What the flock? These wings are amazing.
What the flock? I mean, what are you talking about?
What the flock wings? Try one.
These are delicious. I bet the kids will love them.
Yeah, but maybe we should call them WTF wings in front of the kids?
Seriously?
Oh, yep. Now I'm hearing it.
Get the What the Flock family combo. 20 wings, garlic bread, large potato wedges, 4 cans of pop, served with celery, carrots, and 2 dips for just $46.99. Order now on Uber Eats or skip the dishes. Or visit WTFlockwings.com.
For guys, size matters. But bigger is definitely not better for guys with overdeveloped breasts. The condition is called gynecomastia, and Dr. Frank Lista of the Plastic Surgery Clinic can help. Dr. Lista is a world-renowned plastic surgeon who has perfected the procedure that corrects gynecomastia with virtually no scarring. Visit theplasticsurgeryclinic.ca and size up your options for downsizing male breasts. Theplasticsurgeryclinic.ca.
Leafs Game Night live from Scotiabank Arena, 3-2. The Leafs win over the Anaheim Ducks. I just have this feeling like it's one of those games where there's a lot of positives and there's some concerns, but I have this feeling that when we're at the relevant stage of the season, we're going to revert back to this and say, well, that's where they learned how to get through situations. Will we do that?
I think so, and it wasn't pretty, but, just being in the arena, I'm not saying the wind was sucked out of the arena, it was just a little bit quiet, and I think that's what Berube's system does. It's not necessarily taking any on risk that you don't need to, just advance the puck, have a good F3, and just play that system, and they found a way to get those 2 points tonight, and yes, I know at home you want to put on an amazing show, and that second line was electric where they had the crowd on their feet a bunch of times, too. Nylander had 2 breakaways, almost scored. Pacioretty as well, too. And, yes, they had their moments. But, again, when push came to shove in that third period, all 4 lines were rolling. The 4th line was out there a couple times getting the cycle, just methodical, pucks on net, good puck retrievals, recovering above the puck, just playing that simplified style of hockey. And that's how you win, not just in the regular season, but the playoffs as well.
Well, they're not hurting themselves, are they?
No. And, again, I would like them to start finished a little bit on the periods, a little bit stronger where, yes, they got caught in their end and the other teams were getting some sustained pressure, but no real grade A opportunities. Yes, the teams are cycling and they're in there for 30, 40 seconds, but they're not giving up major slot shots. You saw Wool make that big save in the third period on Killorn, I believe it was. Other than that, there wasn't really any sustained or major opportunities where you thought, okay, here it comes again. Anaheim's going to score 1 or 2 to go up in this game. So it was a class act. It was a great finish. and they found a way to get another 2 points now. And you take a look at the standings now; they're now tied with the Florida Panthers for first in the division. So it's good hockey. Sometimes it can be a nothing burger, as we say here, but it's effective. And right now, everyone's having success.
Postgame comments are brought to you by Honda. Score $1,500 Honda bonus on the CR-V LX. Conditions apply. Visit HondaOntario.com. Max Pacioretty on the team's offense.
I thought overall the whole group really played well offensively, and we definitely had a lot of zone time, a lot of chances to score, a lot of chances off the rush too. So things seem to be coming together a little bit. Obviously, there's always areas to improve, but we, especially like the third period, they're playing the lead.
Max, I know Craig's been talking about going to the nets and getting those 30 goals, and your first one is going to be like that. It's actually the same. Was that an indication where you got to keep the lead?
A bit, but being smarter with it, I think. There are oftentimes, when you're not scoring, maybe you're going there maybe a little bit too early, but it's timing and it's chemistry. And, I wasn't exactly in the goalie's eyes in that first one, but chemistry with Johnny, knowing that he's going to throw it behind him. And I think when you play with, top-notch players like that, chemistry just seems to keep growing and growing, and that was an example of that.
You talked a lot about adjusting and taking on a different role with this team, but how nice it is to live out your old role, get on the score sheet.
It is. I got to make sure that I balance everything in terms of being hard to play against and playing straight lines, and I can't get away from that no matter what the outcome is. So started to feel that fade a little bit, but in the third got back to that, and I think that's definitely where I'm helping out the line and the team the most. But I definitely, there are areas where I can maybe get lost a little bit and try and get a shot off.
Injuries of season, who are you most comfortable with playing center?
Everyone. There's team top to bottom. I played the most, I think, with Johnny.
I meant before this year.
Guy I really liked playing with was Davey Desharnais, and played with him a lot in Montreal, and had really good chemistry right from the beginning. I feel that way with guys in this room, and a lot of the top players now, it seems like, not everyone has the hockey sense like some of the old school guys, and Johnny and Austin and the guys in this room. There's a lot of guys with hockey sense, and thankful to play with any one of them.
Injuries have followed this team around this last month or so, but what do you make of Anthony going down and Joe Wall coming in?
That's huge. That's definitely not an easy position to be in. I've never experienced it, obviously, but goalies always talk about how that's a tough situation, and he came in and played fantastic.
Max Pacioretty, the game's first star. Leafs win 3-2. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app. The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app.
Score!
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Leafs game night live from Scotiabank Arena, 3-2. The Leafs win over the Ducks. And this second line, Tavares, Nylander, Pacioretty, was just sweet to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great to be here and call it from up here. Just seeing the crowd get on their feet and just the sustained pressure. And it's not just one player. Nylander had some hop in his step, but Pacioretty going to the net, the chemistry between Tavares and Max Pacioretty, that's great. And again, I'm really proud for Pacioretty having injuries the last couple of years. He got hurt this year, came back, and did not miss a beat. So just simplified hockey. It's not X's and O's and nothing too spectacular. Just going to the net, keep it simple, have your stick on the ice. And I'm sure he's teaching a lesson to some of the younger guys here who's passed up through the lineup, right? He was in and out of the lineup to start the season. He paid his dues. And I think this line now is probably going to be a constant going forward.
And they got to the point where they had like 3 or 4 breakaways in that third period.
Yeah, I think Nylander had 3 of them, right? And again, and it's that chemistry where Nylander knows when to go, but he's not cheating. He's just, he's reading off those guys. And that's what happens when you play, 10, 12, 14 years in the National Hockey League. You know exactly where to go on the ice. And Pacioretty and Tavares, not the fleetest of foot out there, but more times than not, they're the smartest guys on the ice. And Nylander is the legs of the line, and he was noticeable. And he easily could have had 2-3 goals tonight with 4 points as well. So not bad. And again, everyone just has to follow suit.
Fun to watch, Stu. Thanks very much.
Always great working with the Tap Man.
I agree with that. Leafs game night, TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to NHL Play-by-Play on Sirius XM. Head over to Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, for the best hockey talk.
Sets that are required to do that. Obviously, we've practiced our game and honed our skill set for years and years and years, tens of thousands of hours of honing our skills. But emotionally, mentally, what prepares you to play in those moments and perform when you're expected to? That, I think, is what really defines a Game 7 moment for the players that have excelled in Game 7 moments. And what are those life lessons that we can teach our young boys and girls and the skill sets required to do that? The breathing, it's being able to slow your heart down and your blood pressure goes up and your decision-making is rash and concentration varies because of all of it. What allows you to kind of really slow down and use your God-given talent, and then obviously the repetitions through your whole life that you know you can do it. You just got to be able to do it when it matters most. It's like hitting a home run and, like Aaron Boone did, or doing something special at the right moments. And I think the educational part of the docuseries is really fascinating to me there to help our young boys and girls who will be faced with big decisions in their life. And you don't have to be a sport fan to have a Game 7 moment in life. Everybody's faced with decisions that are going to alter the trajectory of their lives in one way or another there. And we're trying to figure out what those skill sets are.
What does it feel like to lose a Game 7?
Fortunately for me, I never experienced what the Oilers did last year, of going all the way to the end in a championship game and losing in a Game 7. Anytime you get to a Game 7, it's a hard journey to get there. 2 teams, evenly matched. It's been a war. It's been a tug of war. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's tired. And then to lose that is devastating. I think about my own experience in Game 7, winning 7 of them. The 2 still hurt to this day. What could I have done different? You always say that you got to lose in order to understand how to win. I do agree with that. I think there are lessons in loss and in failure, both as a team and as an individual. If I had my preference, I would have liked to have learned those lessons while I was winning. But unfortunately, that's just not the way it is. But I look back at it now and just think about how grateful I am for all the lessons in wins and the losses, because it really ends up defining who you are as a person and as a player.
Mad Dog Sports Radio has the best sports talk in the business, covering sports with a passion and knowledge you need. Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM 86, and the SXM app.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Thursday, December the 12th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, All games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Anaheim Ducks. Leafs on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 946. Ducks on Internet 920. 7 p.m., New Jersey Devils face the LA Kings. Devils on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 936. Kings on Internet 932. 7 p.m., Montreal Canadiens face the Pittsburgh Penguins. Canadiens on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 934. Penguins on Internet 941. 7 p.m., Philadelphia Flyers take on the Detroit Red Wings. Flyers on Sirius 210, XM 221, and Internet 940. Red Wings on Internet 929. 7 p.m., Columbus Blue Jackets face the Washington Capitals. Blue Jackets on Sirius 211, XM 222, and Internet 927. Capitals on Internet 950. 7:30 p.m., New York Islanders take on the Chicago Blackhawks. Islanders on XM 223, Internet 937. Blackhawks on Internet 925. 8 p.m., Winnipeg Jets face the Vegas Golden Knights. Jets on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 951. Knights on Internet 949. 8 p.m., St. Louis Blues take on the San Jose Sharks. Blues on XM 206, Internet 944. Sharks on Internet 942. 8 p.m., Dallas Stars take on the Nashville Predators. Stars on XM 202, Internet 928. Predators on Internet 935. 8:30 p.m., Minnesota Wild take on the Edmonton Oilers. Wild on XM 203, Internet 933. Oilers on Internet 930. 9 p.m., Calgary Flames take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Flames on XM 205, Internet 923. Lightning on Internet 945. 9 p.m., Colorado Avalanche face the Utah Hockey Club. Avalanche on XM 204, Internet 926. Utah on Internet 947. 10 p.m., Vancouver Canucks face the Florida Panthers. Canucks on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 948. Panthers on Internet 931. 10 p.m., Seattle Kraken face the Boston Bruins. Kraken on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 943. Bruins on Internet 921.
MLB Network Radio is your home for 24/7 baseball talk, featuring on-site coverage of every major event from spring training through the World Series and expert analysis from former general managers and players. SiriusXM, Channel 89.
Hockey Hall of Famer and Stanley Cup champion for the Edmonton Oilers and New York Rangers, Mark Messier joined Scott Laughlin on the morning skate for SiriusXM NHL Network Radio on Channel 91 to discuss the pressures of Game 7 after having played in 9 Game 7s himself, winning 7 of them, and how you can either thrive under pressure or crumble underneath it.
I almost look at Game 7s, Mark, like I do overtime in the Stanley Cup playoffs or overtime in any sporting event where you've got so much pressure on you and every play gets magnified. Could you, during the course of your career, and you don't have to name names, but could you look around the dressing room or could you look on the opposing bench and could you figure out those that wanted to be the hero and those that just wanted to avoid making the mistake? I mean, was that plain for you to see that there were those that wanted the puck on their stick with the game on the line that could thrive under pressure, and then you had the opposite as well?
I felt myself in those moments there defaulting to the more defensive side of the game. And then I played with my right winger who I won 6 Stanley Cups with, Glenn Anderson. He was the kind of guy that was trying to, really drive hard offensively and take the game and try to score the winning goal. And we're on the same line. Maybe that the difference of us in our mentalities work perfectly. But everybody's wired different. Everybody's got fear, failure. The best have that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to internalize those feelings, but you can't let them paralyze you. And it's for me, going into a Game 7, I allowed myself to visualize what if we didn't win, leading up to the game, and then slowly as you get closer to the game, you allow yourself to kind of push the negative feelings aside, and you start to fill yourself up with all the great things that are going to happen and what you need to do to execute the game plan. And of course, ultimately to seeing yourself, holding the trophy. And then as a game starts, all the negative and the positive go away. And then you drill yourself down into, just executing the game plan. And, you don't think about the what ifs and what should have been or what could have been. You just really kind of play in the moment. And I think trust becomes a massive word when you think about it. Can I trust each one of the players that are going out there to not only to do their part from a strategic standpoint, be in the right position, be in the right places at the right time, but not get undisciplined and take poor penalties at the wrong time because their ego is bruised and someone took advantage of them, then being able to hold all that in check. So there's just so many dynamics to think about for a team in order to overcome all the obstacles to win a championship. And it's fascinating to me. It's one of the reasons I was able to play 26 years, because once you do it, you understand how fun it is, but also how complicated and intricate it is to kind of get not only the team from a physical standpoint to come together, but how a team comes together emotionally, mentally, and the spirituality around a team and the respect that lives inside that locker room is incredible.
On the court and off, your home for the NBA is SiriusXM. Follow all the drama as your favorite team vies for it all. SiriusXM NBA Radio, SiriusXM 86.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Thursday, December the 12th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the
They're going to the second round. Do you believe this? Holy Mackinac! Point taken. 2-0 Toronto. 2-on-1. Marner in over the line looking for Tavares.
Thank you for finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Get him on his stick. Score!
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go!
face the Utah Hockey Club. Avalanche on XM204 Internet 926, Utah on Internet 947. 10 p.m. Vancouver Canucks face the Florida Panthers. Canucks on Sirius XM channels 91 Internet 948, Panthers on Internet 931. 10 p.m. Seattle Kraken face the Boston Bruins. Kraken on Sirius 208 XM 219 and Internet 943, Bruins on Internet 921.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 brings you expert analysis from former players, coaches, and executives, plus reaction to all the latest news on the only 24/7 station dedicated to the National Football League.
Tampa Bay Lightning head coach John Cooper stopped by for a morning skate with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio on SiriusXM Channel 91 to talk the keys to his success over the years and the challenge of getting to the Stanley Cup Final 3 years in a row.
John, I'm going to ask you to be a little bit self-analytical and, being in the business that you're in and knowing how successful you've been and what drives you and motivates you. What do you think has been the key to your success over the years? I mean, every league you've been in, you've won, you've had the staying power, and you've had all kinds of championship pedigree. If you say, hey, look, I'm still going strong, I'm still chasing another ring, what is it that keeps you going, and what is it in particular that you feel has made you as successful as you've been?
I would say there's a couple things. Internally, it's the fire is still burning. And so I think that, first and foremost, is the biggest thing. Because when you lose your passion for it, and I've watched it happen to people, then you might as well you should get yourself out, because you're just doing yourself and your team a disservice. So that passion is, first and foremost, the big thing. I would say on the other side of things, like Jeff Vinik as an owner, and it kind of goes back to the previous question about stability. And that's one of the things we've had. And so Julian Breezeball was my general manager in the minors and now the NHL. So we've been together for how many years? We had Steve Yzerman in the early part of that, and he kind of was like the mentor. He was the actual one that brought me in, but we've had that stability. Only 2 GMs, but both of them work together. We've had one owner, one coach. Basically, since I've been there, one captain, and it's this core group of guys that have all stuck together. And I think we've kind of, I don't know how to explain it, you've kind of passed the coach-player relationship because we've been there so long, and we all just have this common goal of what we need to do. And there's a lot of pride, a lot of passion with the group of guys we have, and then Julian's done a great job of kind of filling in. And when I say fill in, it's like getting the Nick Pauls, getting the Brandon Hagels, guys that are still long-term guys but that weren't, pseudo-drafted into our system. And it's, we've been really fortunate that it's worked out the way it has. But I truly believe the stability, the belief, and the passion of the same group of people that have been together, and that's what's really helped us. It takes its toll, both physically and mentally, and I give our players credit, to come back and make the playoffs the next year. But, now we've been one and done for 2 years. We've had some breaks. We've had a little bit of turnover. And we need to get back. We need to get back to those, making some runs in the playoffs. And but I will sit here and say, I'd be remiss to say, those years, they do take a toll. And maybe it has taken a toll in the last, couple of years on us. And but I can tell now that, a couple of years of being bounced in the first round, it's just a different vibe coming in, especially this year of seeing all the players. And there's an energy I haven't felt in a while. And I think part of that is because we have been bounced, in the last 2 years.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Thursday, December the 12th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Anaheim Ducks. Leafs on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 946. Ducks on Internet 920. 7 p.m., New Jersey Devils face the LA Kings. Devils on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 936. Kings on Internet 932. 7 p.m., Montreal Canadiens face the Pittsburgh Penguins. Canadiens on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 934. Penguins on Internet 941. 7 p.m., Philadelphia Flyers take on the Detroit Red Wings. Flyers on Sirius 210, XM 221, and Internet 940. Red Wings on Internet 929. 7 p.m., Columbus Blue Jackets face the Washington Capitals. Blue Jackets on Sirius 211, XM 222, and Internet 927. Capitals on Internet 950. 7:30 p.m., New York Islanders take on the Chicago Blackhawks. Islanders on XM 223, Internet 937. Blackhawks on Internet 925. 8 p.m., Winnipeg Jets face the Vegas Golden Knights. Jets on Sirius XM channels 167, Internet 951. Knights on Internet 949. 8 p.m., St. Louis Blues take on the San Jose Sharks. Blues on XM 206, Internet 944. Sharks on Internet 942. 8 p.m., Dallas Stars take on the Nashville Predators. Stars on XM 202, Internet 928. Predators on Internet 935. 8:30 p.m., Minnesota Wild take on the Edmonton Oilers. Wild on XM 203, Internet 933. Oilers on Internet 930. 9 p.m.,